sides here. Last minute or so, Nisha making sure the arrow doesn't catch him by surprise.
They need more heroes there. If they're going to go for some type of ravage play, they need to go for those chain stuns if they're going to try to get Nisha. Very tanky, 1800 HP with the Bloodstone.
And as you say, that is the thing as well, though, for Tundra. If they try and play with their ult Secret, they'll very much be ready to respond with their own ultimates. Both teams having huge teamfight ultimates to drop. We'll see in the middle, Nisha, it's the time again, he's on his own. They have Bloodstone charges, but Tundra, they're just able to blow him up. A bit of a rare situation there where Nisha was alone, and Tundra, they make sure they don't miss out on the opportunity. And they make the move immediately, and nobody else is around for Secret.
No, he didn't have any help, exactly. And they dropped the Wraith Pack down, so there you see, even though he popped Bloodstone, he has all this damage coming out. It's actually not that much damage, nor that much healing. No cares if they're going to commit Ravage there, it's perfect.
Should be a free tier 1 tower, I'd imagine. They have put the fortification. We'll see if Secret try and force a fight. There's still 10 seconds, no Nisha.
Look at the vision control as well, too, from Tundra. They have Ward on high ground, kind of watching everything right now.
And they'll back off for now, respecting the fact that Nisha soon to be back up. But the damage certainly done to this tier 1, incredibly low. Next push will take it off the map. Secret, as soon as Nisha's back in play, they might just try and find some sort of move around him. This time round, making sure that they're in position to enable the Lesh and not allow him to get caught out alone.
That's the biggest thing, right? They have to start playing as much as possible around Nisha. Try to slow down Skeeter, because all these moments ticking by, this Naga Siren's just getting all the free farm in the world. Manta's finished, has an Arcane Rune, so he's going to be able to push out these lanes freely. Just keeping all these lanes shoved in, so it's hard for Secret to really make a move without them getting caught themselves. And yeah, that deep vision, Tundra, I mean, having these deep wards that haven't been taken out is a big deal right now.
A 4K lead for Tundra. Very much, just say, taking over the map. And with the Moonlight Shadow.
Saw
See if
Rezo.
they can catch Rezo alone. Rezo senses something's up though.
He is squishy now. I mean, he has not built any HP items whatsoever. 1000 HP. They have a plethora of burst damage.
This is a scary place. Tundra, they won't hesitate to dive if Nine's able to set up with the shards into the trees. He's going to try for it, see what he can find, and he finds him.
It's a perfect trap.
I'll get the bushwhack in as well. Rezo getting taken down behind his tier 2 once again. Nine just continuing to be bang on target every single time with these shards.
And this is pain. I mean, look at the moments. 5K gold lead now. Crystallis, he hasn't been able to find much of anything after the laning phase. They're making all the space in for Skeeter, and they're getting kills out of it too.
They need to slow Tundra down somehow, or look to make some sort of fight happen around their own ultimates. Just set the team fight up for Nisha to be able to burn through these enemies with this incredible amount of damage he can do as the Lesh.
I mean, they're keeping all the lanes pushed in. Look, Snaking goes to the scary lane. Top, he's going to push that one out quickly. Mid's pushed in, bottom's pushed in. Skeeter's already starting to look to cut some waves. Okay, maybe suiciding some illusions, but looking to cut some waves. Yeah, the pressure on the map, it's too much right now for Secret.
Just getting information on who's sort of still sat back here in the base. They know that Rezo's only just stepping out, so they can sort of plan for the movements of this Enigma and make sure that they're ready to prepare for any sort of jump Secret tries to make on them.
And look, they're building more and more dead. Crystallis, he's really far.
Deep. Very far up the lane. You can see Tundra, they're a bit hesitant. They know that if he's going to play aggressive like that, chances are that the rest of Secret's there to back him up, and Secret were able to step up.
As soon as they see anything, though, 33 is just knocking on a tier 2 bottom as this Tide. Getting close to his pipe as well, so all this damage mitigation for the Lesh. I mean, it's starting to get online.
Yeah, the amount of pressure that Tundra can apply. Something that we've seen them always had the power to do with the drafts they normally enter in with. 33's Tide, just being able to sit down here, Skeeter able to split the map up with his illusions. It's just a whole lot of everything that Secret's having to deal with right now.
Tower's just continuing to get hit. 33, he just knows he's free down here because he also has that ward backup. He has Skeeter near him too. Tundra playing the map beautifully. And yeah, they built it. They got that shard early on Soxa, so that burst damage that we were talking about, they're gonna have so much of it to be able to take out this Lash, to take out that tanky punch. And yeah, lanes are already starting to get cut. There's already a Naga Siren problem.
You very much see it in the net worth, and indeed so far, Secret not really being able to use the power of the punch. You know, Crystallis still very much behind here in the farm, and we see underneath the tower, Tundra, we start poking at him, getting him pretty low. Chain Frost will be thrown out, but not too many bounces at all, and 33's ready to go back in onto Crystallis. Secret, at this stage of the game, they can't even protect that punch underneath their own tier 2. Rezo jumps forward, they're looking towards 9, but 9 is forced out to the side. He's going to be able to step away, see if they can continue to try and get any further catch. Zeiss will be able to get the toss back onto 9, so they'll take him down. But look, very much, it's such a struggle here as we're seeing for Crystallis.
Yep.
Under tier 2, Secret, the rest of his team pretty close by. They couldn't help him.
They need to get more.
Tundra, they're ready to try and pick more kills out of this here as they head into the jungle as Secret. Catch out puppy, Ravage for 33. Puts an end to the life of Zayat. Tanisha has to step back. It's just him and Rezo on the retreat right now.
Rezo?
See if they can get any further setup. Rush from 33. Sharpshooter hit coming in as well. Respawns will be there for Secret. Crystallis back in action. Tundra, they won't push their luck. They know that they're maintaining this lead. And as we've seen time and time again, once they get that lead, Tundra, they very, very rarely throw it away.
Especially if they have Skeeter on something like this Naga Siren. I mean, he's been absolutely free the whole game. He's got the Orchid, he's on his way to the heart, and it feels like there's going to start being some really big damage issues on Secret. And the map just continues to be pressured everywhere too, right? Tundra, they're forcing so much bottom. It's like 4 or 5 heroes of Secret having to react to this. Meanwhile, Skeeter's just, he's loving life. Plan is being executed perfectly by them. And for Secret, approaching into any of these fights, like Zayat, he still doesn't even have his Blink Dagger yet, so him being able to jump in, get some type of repositioning, getting some fight advantages, it's not easy. Rezo is the one with the Blink as the initiator, but as we've seen time and time again, he's just very squishy at this point. He'll just die if he goes in.
It's not easy at all for him to find the chance to get these black holes off, and especially before he has that BKB done. And pretty much impossible if Tundra, they turn up in numbers.
And look at this approach from 33. You know, we were talking about damage mitigation so much. It tends to be a big thing that Tundra's going for. The pipe, the Wraith Pact, and he's even queuing up a Mage Slayer. So a really cute approach.
How do
it's
you
a
fight through this?
Pudge and Lesh, right? Completely reliant on that magical damage. So if he just gets an Anchor Smash, if he gets that Mage Slayer applied on them, how are they going to be able to bring down the targets? Especially that Naga Siren, who's gonna have this heart pretty soon.
Each passing moment here, each minute, Tundra is getting further and further ahead. Very much feeling the control they have on the game this early on as well. 22 minutes in, 8K lead.
Yep. And they even have, 9. Oh, we got the Orchid coming out.
We'll be lucky to find an illusion room.
He'll be all right. And yeah, they also have 9, who's going to be going for his standard Tusk build. He's going to be that straight physical damage burst also. So they have kind of everything going for them here to be able to take down Focus Fire the Pudge, Focus Fire the Lash, reduce their damage, and take objectives. That's the other big thing too. It's going to allow them to get Roche a little bit easier and push those towers.
It really very much is a case of, even through that Bloodstone heal, Tundra, they will kill Nisha so quickly. The Secret's response, it has to be immediate with their sort of counter initiations in terms of the black holes and such.
I mean, it's 22 minutes and there's only 2 Flesh Heap stacks. Never a position you want to be on the Pudge. But Crystallis, he's got Ags done. Let's see what he's going to be able to do with this.
So around the mid there. Looking towards 33. This is not an easy kill.
He's very tanky.
Very, very tanky. And
oh my god, okay. There we go.
I mean, they have to. I don't think they're getting that kill if they don't then.
They got it before he drops the pipe, before he drops the Wraith Pact, so sure. I mean, getting him off the map is
That's the only way they kill him.
Yeah.
They've got to do it quick, they've got to do it safe, they've got to use the black hole in situations like that. I'll take him off the map, and it will at least sort of give them a bit of peace here, maybe for the 30 seconds. Knowing that Tundra, they won't have the tide for the fight, but nonetheless, though, Tundra, they're still that farmed that they'll definitely still go for a quick kill.
Bottom.
Tide or not.
More than enough damage, probably. There it is. And some Deso stacks for 9.
See Lotus now done as well for Nisha, so a little bit of an extra way that he can try and prepare himself for the fight. Give him a bit of a better shot of not being blown up. Some of the targeted abilities from Tundra.
Yep, be able to protect him. Also, if there's like a snowball, he can even get inside the snowball if they play it a little bit perfectly. He can also dispel the boomerang buff, or debuff that is, which amplifies all that damage. Nisha?
This bottom tier 2 so scary, surely, here for Secret, unless they can ensure that Tundra put off from diving, and they will get back. Crystallis, he hits the hook. Grabs back 9 before Skeeter's able to do anything to save him. And sort of frees the rest of Secret there with the song. A good catch onto 9 there. Secret coming in with some level of response now to the moves from Tundra. It's definitely not as smooth sailing as it has been for the last 10 minutes. Secret able to slow them down a little bit by bit.
Yep, and now they have the blink on the Tiny. So an actual initiator rather than just forcing Rezo to be that one to jump in with Black Hole. Getting themselves back on the map. Every time they do kill one of those heroes, it feels pretty massive, at least for Secret, but Tundra doesn't seem like they care too much.
I mean, it's just the Naga Siren, right? Skeeter He doesn't care if he sees a hero, a teammate die every now and then, wants a minute just one off on their own. As long as he's still hitting the creeps, he is happy. Top of the net worth, and indeed with his heart, you can see Skeeter. Him and his illusions, it's not going to be easy to deal with. Sort of the main way to deal with it in terms of the Pudge and the Leshrac. We know that Tundra, they can kill these heroes. As underneath the tier 2 mid, they're looking towards Chrysalis. Skeeter, he's ready to commit in. As they go right in on top of him. Nisha will turn up for the fight, but not able to make any sort of move in time to save, and Chrysalis goes down. And you see 33, he's ready to just waltz right underneath the tier 2 as well. Zions will jump over the toss back.
Chain Frost.
They are getting 9 pretty low. He's able to get the snowball off in time. Ravage there for 33 ensures that 9's got the space to step back. As Zions will fall. The bushwhack from Saxa finishing him off. Secret trying their best to deal with this team fight. These dives, this aggression that Tundra is performing. Most times, 9 out of 10, they're not able to deal with it. No. They're not able to stop them from getting what they want. Tundra, they'll push down mids, take down this tier 2. Everything continues to just being ticked off the list here for Tundra.
This Skeeter Naga is just way too farmed, really, for them. Once he shows up to the fight, they're like, oh my god, we do not have enough damage to go through 3,000 HP. It's gonna take them quite a while, and it's into Wraith Pack, and it's into Pipe, and also we saw our beautiful observer point out an extra cloak purchased up. I mean, he is gonna be going back for the Mage Slayer, as we mentioned. He was queuing up Blink for a moment, but yeah, just really looking for all that damage mitigation, making sure that Skeeter will probably never go down unless he gets caught by absolutely everything. So for Secret, next few moments, pretty difficult for them to look for these fights. Multiple Blink daggers. You see even Puppey gets a Blink. They need any type of follow-up. They need the big burst, right? If they catch 1 or 2 heroes in a black hole, they need absolutely everything.
That's a lot of weight on resolution.
It is.
He's got to do something incredible. We get the toss back here on a Snake King, but Puppey's low. Rezo's going to use the black hole.
Only on one.
Catches Snake King, though, and the song's out. Tundra, they're able to reset the team fight. Puppey goes down. Zayat's also to fall. As they'll lose Snake King, but they get to, once again, Tundra just proving at this stage to be almost impossible for Secret to fight into.
Tough position to use Black Hole. Pre-BKB even to all these stuns into Song.
I mean, he must be close to the BKB, right, Reza?
Getting closer. I mean, he bought the shard, he bought the lens, so he has delayed it quite some time for himself. And Tundra now, they probably are like, okay, well, no Black Hole. We can probably look for Roshan.
Straight to Roshan, indeed. They know that there's going to be no chance of Secret heading out to this area of the map.
And they kill it fast. With Riptide, with Deso, with Gush. See all that minus armor coming into play on top of the Orchid. Secret, they are reacting though, bringing 4 heroes. Scan is going to catch them.
See if they can get any sort of fight going here. It's not easy, there's no Black Hole to rely on. They're still dead, straight into the fight with Chris as he walks forward. Snowball's going to be there for now, gets them over towards Nisha. They're trying to step back though. Nisha getting off a good amount of damage this time. Team on this sharpshooter comes in, takes down Zayas. Chrysalis trying to stand his ground with the dismember. They're forced 9 back to safety. Roshan falling low. Chrysalis also having to back away as 33. He's trying to finish off the Roche. Puppey and Nisha, they're stepping into the pit as well, but 9 heads in Snowball. They get the Ravage off the same time. Rezo tries to jump in to steal the Aegis. 9 already picks it up. 3 dead on Secret. They'll take the Aegis quickly out the hands of 9. But Secret, they're getting chased back away from the pit. Very much felt like a bit of a last-ditch attempt there from Secret to try and stop Tundra, but they couldn't take the fight around the Roche pit. It's 4 dead, 9 continuing to chase. We'll see Puppey able to blink out just in time. It's a good fortune that he has that item there.
I mean, it's wild how much damage is reduced there. In most situations, if there's not a pipe, if there's not a Wraith Pack,
so clumped up and they just still didn't die.
Look how much they only. I'm saying only because when we've seen these Pudges on these Leshes, when they're able to stick on targets, 3 heroes inside that, you would probably see some 10,000 worth of damage or something. But look at this, the damage mitigation completely protecting everybody there.
Secret, they really had to go all in to make a move like this, and they certainly do. They go straight into the pit, and of course, having to try and fight. Rezo doesn't have his Black Hole back up.
Look at the micro too, right? The Wraith Pack. Look, he pops it and sends it up north to kind of hide it away from everybody. So Secret, they're panicking to try to kill this thing, and meanwhile, they're all just dropping lower and lower.
Yeah.
Great plays from 9. The Snowball initially to dodge the Chain Frost with his team, and then Snowball to kind of guarantee that they can get up that Roshan. Beautiful plays from Tundra. Masters of the team fight.
They are seeming unstoppable here so far in this game. 18k lead.
And it's also, you know, Ravage, it wasn't up until that exact moment as well, too.
Stepping up in the mid, they've got the arrow connection. He's already used the Bloodstone here. Look at the Lotus Orb off in time. A little bit of safety in his own Snowball, but it's only going to tear him far away from the safety of any of his teammates as Nisha will get slowly but surely taken out. Poppy as well to fall. Zion's caught out by the net. It's going to be 3 dead on Secret. We'll see how much further they want to play this one out. It is grand finals after all, but this game one, it just looks like there's very few answers at all to what Tundra's doing right here.
And it's versus that Lesh. They gave the Lesh. They had an idea, they had a concept, and it's working beautifully.
Radiant structures.
Full control of the game.
I mean, 33. As this, how he ended it at the end there. Talking about how important the Tide is, how good he is on this hero, and we're seeing it 4-1 and 15. Even without the Ravage, we see the effects he's able to do from start to finish of this game.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Of course, Tundra, we've seen many times before in the games that they play, when they have this sort of lead, they'll ever so careful not to allow any opportunity for it to slip away from them. So they'll back off from the push for now.
Interesting to point out also, Skeeter did buy the shard as well, so feels like they're really understanding this. Limit the damage. This is going to heal for 40%. They're reducing the damage that's coming out from the Pudge and Lesh, so how are they going to kill these big beefy targets,
They
right?
have to catch them split up. But as we've seen, it's very few situations where Tundra, especially at this moment of the game, they choose to sort of fall back into positions that allow them to get caught one by one.
Always playing around each other perfectly.
Hook. Trying to get a 33, but he has got the Ravage. Won't pop it, and now there's the jump on 90 straight in. Takes him out, Rezomi has got the black hole off onto the two of them, but do they have the damage? Chain frost out, the BKB's already out from 9 and Skeeter. It was a nice two-man black hole, but there wasn't any follow-up, and now Tundra, it looks like once again, they're setting up for the cleanup. They've got the catch on Tanisha. Bushwhack will trap him against the tree. The arrow for Snake, it keeps him locked down. He'll try and step back, but Tundra, the 4-5 of them, chase him down. He'll go for the TP out. He won't break it. Everybody dead on Secret. Tundra, they're ready to resume pushing down the mid.
Radiant's middle barracks are under
Just
attack.
seems like they're just this time they're way too far ahead, but they're always just, like you mentioned, everyone's always playing around each other. This time, Ravage is at the ready. 33 not even coming close to dying. And now they're all full health because Skeeter pops a song and heals them up as well. Tundra.
Radiant's bottom
We'll see if they go
tower
for one more fight. But that one more fight for Secret, once again, will be lacking the big ultimates. Black hole, of course, used by Reza there in an attempt to get something going, but really, with the BKBs that Tundra have, if they get it off beforehand, then there's absolutely no chance of Secret killing these cores.
top tower is under attack.
30k gold lead. I mean, full item for each hero pretty much coming out now.
This is just, it's not a position where we've really seen any teams be able to turn things around when they've been against Tundra in particular.
Especially
Tundra get this sort of lead against you, it very much is over, unless something incredible happens.
Especially when they have this Naga Siren, really. They look to be amazing. These illusion carries in particular for Skeeter, right? His CK, his Naga has been a pleasure to watch. In Secret, they tried to set that pace early game, but almost never in this game did they actually have a lead. The gold was always actually pretty much in favor of Tundra.
Tundra smoked up, and you can feel it. They're ready to go for the finisher here.
Puppy, blinking in.
All right, walk it down mid.
Trying to catch the creep wave or something.
Trying to get some sort of a distraction, take Tundra away from the push.
But the
buying
waves.
some time.
The waves are all in, though.
See bottom Anisha. Might be in a bit of trouble once again. We'll see Puppy coming with the buyback, but that sharp shot there from Zax, and nearly finishing him off. They'll go with the snowball over towards Crystallis. Chain Frost comes out from Puppy. Crystallis commits it with the BKB onto 33, but 33 is just so
There's no damage.
He barely cares at all that this Pudge is on top of him. Another hook from Crystallis will catch on, but 33...
Oopsie.
It wasn't the cleanest combo, but at this point, Tundra, they don't even need to hit these combos. They'll just back off and reset. Not the Ravage into Song that, will sort of blow away Secret, but they can afford to mess that up sometimes. They got a 32k lead.
Yeah, we don't need it. It's fine, Do I have to watch out, though, as we see Black Hole back up in 10 seconds? It's going to have to be a 5-man. Even then, I don't know. Doesn't even feel like they'll have the damage anyway.
It's got to be a 5-man, and it's got to catch them before they press BKB.
Yeah. And before Wraith Pact or Piper down.
We'll find 9 in the trees. He gets the BKB off before there's members there. Saxo able to poke in from the side.
He's waiting.
Bushwhack. Crystallis, he's getting low. 9 tries to chase him out. Crystallis gets taken down. 9 caught by the fear. See at the side, though. They're focusing down Nisha. Nisha goes down, full start to the side, 9. Caught by the avalanche, will go down. Secret able to find some sort of semblance of a trade there. They'll take out 9 immediately. Nisha does come in with the buyback. I'll see if there's anything Secret can do here with this minute, where Tundra are without their mid laner.
Nisha can never walk up. He just walks in, gets fully focused from everyone on Tundra. And another item coming up for Skeeter in a moment.
My goodness.
More heal prevention, more damage reduction, etc. Scotty's going to be coming out also for this Naga.
Extra illusion as well with the level 20.
Yeah.
And illusion rune found us. On top of that also, I expect us to continue to just see all 3 lanes push right up to the base of Secret. Secret are going to try and find that what needs to be an immaculate team fight, 5-man black hole. It's just going to be so hard for them to do it anywhere outside of the base. Leaving this area of the map, leaving the some sort of safety at the high ground, it's just so tough against what Tundra's doing on the map right now.
Tundra's on cruise control. Look, Snaking's even got boots to travel on the 5 Marana.
Nice.
They don't know what to do, bro. Come on, relax, bro.
Okay, keep holding, guys. I got my victory. I got victory. Oh.
Well, there we go, very much. You can see Secret, I think they know that this is a spot game 1 that's tough, but there's a long series ahead of them, so making sure to keep things positive. And very much still continuing it to give it their all. Smokes up here, Zayat some resolution.
I think most people find it, you hear Puppy like kind of laughing in these type of games, and you're like, oh, okay, whew. A heart now for 33.
This is a scary place of resolution and Zayat. Close by to Tundra.
In the trees. Everyone on Tundra is just so farmed at this point. Pretty much every single hero in core. Snaky.
So hard to get
I'll get over it.
any grab, any toss back.
Oh yeah, Snaking's got bots, Lotus, Forstaff, Drum. It is
massive.
a 5-position Marana, by the way.
We've seen some farm supports today. This one's certainly up there from Snaking.
Tundra just tend to do this a lot of times too, right? Distribute their wealth nicely, especially, at this point in this game, of course, when they have all the space in the world, but...
Can they see 33, but
he's got 4,000 health.
They're gonna try. Get the toss back. It's just, it feels so rough to try and commit onto this tide.
He just Mage Slayer hits them and they do nothing.
They've got to back off. 33's toying with the idea of a Ravage as well. Nisha, nearly getting caught out by the bushwhack. Will get jumped by 9. He's in with the Walrus Punch. A Secret just scrambling back up towards the high ground. And I tell you what, I think they're quite lucky to get out of there with nobody going down.
They can't even, they take all the tide. This build really from 33 is working perfectly.
It's unkillable.
The pipe raid pack we've seen so many times, but just throwing in this Mage Slayer because he sees that both cores are this magic damage emphasis.
6-1 and 21, exactly what you hope to see from your offlane.
4-1-15
Roshan
on Skeeter.
Should be another one here for Tundra. Again, these illusions from Skeeter making sure that Secret, they cannot even dream of getting anywhere close to the Roshan.
Every lane pushed in. Puppy, up for a journey, trying to maybe collect some bounty runes. Blinks will be okay. Snaking won't find him. But the Roshan acquired 40k gold lead. Back to business.
Absolutely just passing by the sort of 1k gold a minute, something that you very rarely see in terms of a lead in at this stage of the game. Pretty much a full nullifier done as well from 9. Even tougher to try and protect that core that gets jumped upon by 9.
They're looking to go to. They're smoked. So many of these heroes just get immediately burst down, especially Puppy.
With that Aegis, Tundra know that they can look to get into the face of Secret.
33's taking the tower by himself. He's just anchor smashing it.
Yeah.
He's got the talent.
Chrysalis trying for some sort of a hook.
They can't stop him.
We'll see Zayat. He's looking for a toss back. A 9 in response immediately on top of it. That Zayat's gone. No buyback for him.
Chrysalis.
He'll pop the BKB. He's got to use it to step back, get some sort of distance between him and the rest of the team. He's going to try and stand his ground on 33 and 9. Jumps in with the Warrior's Punch into the snowball. Overall, Disha Rezo. He's going to go for the black hole. The song is there.
It's healing him.
The black hole and damage alone, not enough to take him out through the BKB. Rezo's out. Does have a buyback, but even if he opts to do so, won't have a black hole to use. Tundra, they'll continue this push up towards the top lane. Taking down this set of barracks. A Secret, we'll see if they go for one last move. Maybe hope that Tundra gets a bit close to their fountain, but Tundra, they don't mess around. They're not making any mistake. 33 pops the Ravage, catches out Nisha and Chrysalis. Chrysalis just be able to reset this time as he is over towards the fountain, actually able to live Nisha, also able to keep himself alive for now with the Lotus. Reflects the net, but 33 is getting in on top of him. No one else able to get Nisha away from Tundra as he's out for 100 seconds. The tier 4s have gone, they're on to the ancient. GG is called. And Tundra, they take this game one, and my goodness, they take this game one. This was not close. Tundra in full, complete control. I mean, it felt like after 10 minutes, Secret, they didn't have a chance at all in this one, Bog.
It felt like even from lanes, right? The rotations from Saksa kind of putting on this pressure onto Nisha. This was a miraculous game, really, from Tundra, kind of setting the tempo super early on with the Naga Siren draft. When you're able to kind of get this type of lead early on, and you have a Naga, and you start realizing, hey, we're versus only magic damage, my Tide can just completely counteract it, you know?
Absolutely.
It's an excellent approach.
And I think what's going to feel really good for them is indeed it paid off. You know, as Aoi said, they wanted to try this game one, let the Lesh go through. They dealt with it, and they dealt with it phenomenally. There's no question about it. It was never going to be any sort of issue after a certain point, as Tundra looked terrifyingly good here in this game one of the Grand Finals. Back over to you guys on the panel.
Thank you very much, Odie, Pixel, and Fox. Yes, Tundra executing psychological warfare here in game one. They let the Lesh through, and they destroy it, and you saw Secret just walking off. That felt a little bit heads low. This is probably one of the most devastating first matches we've had at the Grand Finals at International.
And it looked really good at the start, in some ways.
I mean, they had 5 heroes.
Like, they did have 5 heroes. I mean, one of the plays that I was most excited for that game was when they came mid and ganked, and they managed to kill 9 on his Tusk. And in anticipation of his respawn, they thought he's going to move somewhere. So they smoked Zayat and Nisha to top lane, where they then do a counter gank on 9's respawn TP. And that was like, I was like, that's so cool. Like, they're really shutting down 9's Tusk this game. Like, Nisha's just following him around the map.
I don't know, I feel like, James, you're completely on point. This game is just devastating.
Bro, come on.
You're picking... like, you've been
Trust
given...
me, I've been in games like this, not at the international, but this is a lot of what my MMR matches look like, and yeah, but you know, I still play more.
Cheap, Tigal, they've been given Lesh, they've been given Pudge, and this Naga is still not counterable. In the last series, they've been given Magnus, Monkey King. Like, you've been given these Empower heroes. Ember, I believe, was in that one as well. Like, you have just so much AoE damage to deal with these illusions. It just does not work. Lesh, however, they proved it here, right, T? It can be countered.
It can be countered, and I think right now for Secret, after this first game, it's identifying the fact that Tundra, they are this team that when they get into an aggressive position, they're going to hold it against you. Like this lineup from Secret, if you get out ahead in the laning phase, sure, you have the AoE damage from a Pudge and a Lesh, right? You can deal with the Naga Siren. But when you lose your early game, and Tundra is the best team in the world at just choking out, playing aggressive, not allowing you to cross the river and make any plays, and on top of that, 33, I know we've kind of touched on it lightly, his itemization, he's identified the fact that if he gets a pipe, a Wraith Pack, even a Mage Slayer, I think Knoxville tweeted that it's like the 5th time a Tidehunter has ever picked up Mage Slayer on this hero, like he can just stand up front. So now in Secret, if they ever find the Tide, you can't kill him. If you then find anyone else, you're going to get a Naga song. Like, it was just exceptional gameplay from them. But yeah, I think the Leshrac is the key story right now for this one.
Well, I think we need to know more about Leshrac, T.
Oh, yay.
Because will we see it again?
Oh, I mean,
tell us more.
Oh, tell us more. Well, of course. So Team Secret coming into this tournament, or at least into the playoffs, they'd beaten PSG twice in a row with the Leshrac. They had beaten Thunder Awaken twice in a row with the Leshrac. They were one of the best Leshrac teams in the tournament, but this game here is the first loss for Nisha on Leshrac, going now 4-1. Don't forget Tundra, they've not played
TI,
it's quite a few
that didn't play Lesh.
Yeah,
back in the day,
CDEC, they did not play Leshrac, and it cost them a TI win. It was pretty devastating, but looks like it's going to be the complete opposite story here.
It was also a very broken hero back in the day.
Yeah.
And it still is quite a broken hero. And luckily, 9 has played some Leshrac this week. He played 3 pub games on it. So this strategy from Tundra, give Secret Leshrac, beat them with the Leshrac, never play it at all. It could set up for some mind games going into game 2, maybe game 3, that Tundra surprises Secret with a, haha, we actually do play it type strategy. But maybe I'm kind of getting carried away there.
Well, it didn't work out in game 1. But do you think, Tundra, we talked about their map control. You know, they had really good vision. They strangle at the map. But one of the other things is this a counter to Leshrac as well. The fact that every single person you want to kill is just so hard and they have backup because you don't want to be chasing a Mirana. Hoodwink, gets into the tree line. You don't want to open up on the tide. So it seems like they're not only masters of the map, they're really masters of control. And Leshrac needs to go deep into the fights. And so what do you do? Get a blink?
Yeah, like Lich. Lich got himself a blink. Why not Lesh as well? Like blink on Leshrac is actually not that bad. It can happen later on in the game. They had different problems though. Like the initiation needed to happen after Ravage, post-Ravage. That puts a lot of pressure on Rezo. Like you could see so many black holes that are targeted. Well, he catches a couple of heroes, but those heroes already pop the BKBs because he cannot wait. He knows that if he waits, the Ravage is there, his teammates are already dying. Leshrac, so many times he goes in, and he's the sole hero that's hitting the raid pact.
Tough. But of course, Team Secret will take a moment backstage. They're going to have a little bit of time to kind of regroup and pick up their heads. But we did hear from Team Secret earlier as Avo sat down with them before the grand finals.
Welcome, Team Secret, to the round table. Are you guys ready for the grand final?
I'm ready. Nish was the first one that answered. It's good, why everybody looking at me for?
Let's get started with the actual questions. A lot of teams, they talk about how losing makes them stronger because they get to learn about their weaknesses, when a team figures them out. Are you guys worried that they're going to just figure you out at the right moment and then it'll be too late to learn from it?
Yeah, Nish.
Yes.
I'm worried. I'm actually worried. I mean, in Secret, if you lose with one hero, you're not picking it again. That's the law. So it might be rough.
Come on. Don't ruin the hero.
Removed from the pool.
Do you feel like the underdog to a degree?
We are underdogs. Okay. There's no question about it.
Okay. Let's talk about the addition of Rezo to the team. You guys have been playing together as a duo for a while, haven't you?
Since the VP times, yeah. We were together in VP, we were together in Hellraisers, now here.
Raise some hell.
Is it true that you guys were marketing yourself as a duo when you guys were both looking for a team? Like you were looking to lane together?
Yeah, I literally made that tweet that the best duo opening was looking for a team.
And it worked?
Not a single request was from that tweet. Nobody reached out. They're like, yeah, whatever. Who are these guys? I mean, I think it's both the view on the game that we are sharing and outside of the game. Like we share a lot of life understanding, some certain things, and it's very easy to talk to. So it just kind of was a very obvious way for us to go from that point on.
Is it true that you guys speak Russian to each other in the lane during the game?
Yes, it is true.
So half the team speaks English to each other and the other half speaks Russian?
Yeah, it's just the laning. Yeah.
Oh, just the laning.
But sometimes we're switching lanes, so I'm laning with the Clement and we kind of break the rules,
And I'm playing with Remco and speaking English also.
Yeah.
So.
When you do things, you do what's comfortable, right? It doesn't bother us that they're speaking Russian. To be fair, it's even a benefit. Because we can zone out of it.
Yeah.
Not me, I actually hear it. But for Remco's sake and stuff like that, he doesn't even hear anything what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, he also has problems. He also understands what's going on, kind of.
He's not hearing anybody.
So to be fair, only Remco doesn't understand what's going on. We're all here, and we kind of get it.
Let's talk about Chrysalis as well. Remco, yeah.
Remco, yeah.
Yeah. You guys have both previously stated how he's a wild stallion, and you had to break him a little bit in the beginning.
Wild stallion, what?
I think I know. Okay, not that kind of wild stallion. He's his own person, Puppy. You talked about that.
Okay,
yes. Sorry, maybe I went a little bit too poetic.
At Riyadh or?
Yeah, it was a Riyadh.
That one. Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, how's the relationship evolved going towards TI?
No, I mean it's still the same. I don't think much has changed at all. It's just still a bit of goofing. We clicked. It just kind of works. Yeah. I'm usually a bit more of a clown, I guess, at times. Well, whatever.
I mean, I could tell you a billion Remco stories.
What does it mean to you to be able to play in the grand finals?
I get a chance to fulfill my dreams and my goals. To me, TI is always a celebration. I just completely enjoy all my days here, including the finals or not. I'm just happy to be playing the high level of Dota.
Puppy, you've been to 3 TI grand finals. What advice would you give your fellow teammates?
My advice has always been there every day, and it doesn't matter if you're playing first match of TI or last match of TI. It's the same thing,
Just play the game of Dota that you're playing for how many, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, whatever. but just play the game and do your best and be in the moment, be in the present moment. Just give it your best.
Are you excited to play in front of a crowd? Does it add to the experience to you?
When they start chanting like some names of the team, usually the enemy team, it's fun. It gets better, you know?
The enemy team. Please, crowd cheer for
It gives me
Nisha.
energy, you know? To, you know, prove them wrong, kind of.
Okay.
But it's fun, I guess, yeah.
Crowds are awesome. And especially if they do some awesome things in there, like, I don't know, remember like that Enigma doing the black hole that was happening in Benaroya Hall back in, I don't know, second TI, I think. The crowd brings a lot of good energy.
You always feel it, like, you know, even if you're completely zoned in the game, you still feel the, I don't know, sounds, the even like vibrations on the ground and stuff. You know, all of the people are watching, and not only on stream, like, you know, thousands on stream, but here, literally here, and it's a very different experience.
I like to enjoy crowd because I like to scream at enemies when I'm killing them. Because after the scream, I can cool down. It's much easier. That's why I like crowd, because they're screaming. I'm like, oh, hello, and we go next.
Thank you, Team Secret, for talking to me. Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, it was a pleasure. Let's go.
That's the way to go.
Welcome back to the panel. Yes, I was a bit concerned for Secret coming off of game one, of course, and how they kind of looked, but actually kind of seeing that video feel really wholesome. I think like this is a team that actually get on so well and could definitely come back. And the talks of the crowd being amazing and how Zayat wants them, and Singapore has been amazing this tournament. But any takeaways from the interview?
We heard more words from Nisha in that one interview than we did in the entirety of the DPC season. So I think that was the best content piece that I've watched from Secret.
I know, right? Doing my research for TI, I was just like, Nisha. There's nothing. Moving on.
What was his comment? It was in Secret, if we lose with a hero, we don't pick it again.
Yeah.
So that whole Leshrac piece that we did earlier, you can just ignore this kind of Leshrac
That's also
piece.
very interesting because that's not usually how Secret was, how Puppy is. Like, if you remember back in the day, he was known as that stubborn captain. If he picks a hero, he's going to stick with it no matter what, if he thinks that it's...
Yeah, and I remember actually talking to Dendi, and he was like, I play what Puppy tells me to. You know, even if I don't think, you know, it's okay, Puppy says, I have to do. But let's check in as we wait for the second game to get ready. Let's check into the arena with Slacks.
Everybody, yes, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. We are still here in the crowd for Grand Finals Day. We still awake, crowd? Oh, fantastic. Now, I do have a very rare opportunity. These were the first things that sold out at the Secret Shop. These are the trap... Oh, my God, don't show that. Valve promos, man. Very rare. We're going to give these away in a little trivia contest. Now, people get a little nervous in front of the camera, so we're going to do what I like to call crowd trivia. It's basically trivia for dumbos. Now, I'm not going to say that, but all right, anyway, very easy trivia. Anybody in here a large? A large? Anybody a large? All right. Hello, sir. What is your name?
Tom.
Tom. What's your gamer tag?
My gamer tag?
Yeah.
It's on his shirt. Here we go.
That's Papa Virgin.
Call me Papa.
All right, well, that ain't changing anytime soon. Trivia question for you, my friend. All right, this is very hard. What team is Heen associated with?
Oh, God. That's a tough one.
Don't know. What?
Secret.
Secret, that's right, Team Secret. All right, there you go. One loud shirt. There you go. We got a medium. Now, this man helped me corral some fans earlier, so get your butt over here. This is practice content. All right, this is tough. How do you spell Leshrac?
Leshrac.
I actually don't know how to spell Leshrac, so here you go. Enjoy. Thank you. All right, small. Hello, sir. You look trustworthy. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good.
Fantastic. All right, sir. I haven't really thought of a question. Okay. Who's your favorite caster, OD or Fog? Now, there is a correct answer. They're right there next to us. OD or Fog?
There's only one, sir. Fog.
Wow, that's great. Unfortunately, incorrect, though. So we'll have to go to another... No, I'm just kidding. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Masters right when everybody walks out. These were the guys that came in first. Took it up! And yes, we're still quite awake over here, so we'll pass it back to you guys. Keep doing your panel thing, all right? You guys keep it up.
Thank you, Slacks, as he rejoins the crowd to cause more carnage. Have you seen OD Pixel Cast, by the way? It's one of the best things, because those are the primo seats, as Slacks called it, but he is so animated, and Fog just kind of stands there.
It's all the hand movements. It's really feeling and like part of the game.
It's really good that they're standing behind OD. If it was Cap, someone might get wet as well, you know.
That's true.
This could happen. Yes, so we're going to be getting the players out for game number 2, Secret versus Tundra. And still, the storyline is Tundra dominating game 1. And Sheeps to kind of talk about, you know, really how they put down the, not only just their opponents, but put down the lock on the map. What were they doing, Tundra?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I really liked how they utilized their Fat Tide. They brought him away from the bot lane when around 14 minutes when he finished his Wraith Pact and used his Ravage to kill the Leshrac. And this opened up the mid tower for them. And they were able to get a deep ward in the enemy's triangle during this move, which is like, it's very valuable because then they move into the bot side of the map and they know how much they can poke and dive this tier 2 tower given the information they're getting from their vision. And by combining this with having 2 high damage supports in the Mirana and Hoodwink, it meant that they were able to assassinate and kill people without even the help of their cores. So they're just constantly applying pressure and kill threat to Secret all the time.
That pressure is constantly enabled by the Naga as well. Those pesky illusions like Rezo, that wasn't a game for him. Why? Because there's always one pesky illusion following him around, breaking his blink dagger, hitting him. Like, by the time he gets rid of the illusion, the team fight is already kinda over. And Mirana plus Naga, like this combo, it needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, the position 5 Mirana, it's only Tundra doing it, and it's the fact that in all of their drafts as well, they've got the Brood or a Spirit Breaker, the Enigma, like they've always got an element of just map pressure that other teams haven't been able to kind of replicate in their games. And yeah, this is why Secret in this gap, or this break at least from game 1, they need to identify how do we want to prevent Tundra having that map pressure.
Well, we'll have to see as we're going to be getting ready for game 2. As you can see, the teams have now joined us on stage. And of course, we talked a little bit about Tundra, just how they're locking down the map. It really seems like they figured their opponent out, at least in terms of game 1. And actually, we're going to hear from Tundra about their opponents, Team Secret.
I think Team Secret is a very formidable opponent because I think they've defined their roles for each other very well. And they know exactly what to expect from each other. I mean, obviously, they have Puppy. So, like, it kind of goes without saying, honestly. It doesn't need to be explained. And by this point, it's also for Nisha as well. It's just such an amazing player. If you were just to think of each of their player, not even looking at any particular game, you kind of have an idea of what each hero will play. Nisha will generally play like a very high damage hero, and then Crystallis will either be some sort of utility or counter pick for the lane, and same thing with the Resolution. They know their lane matchups very well. It's like they play these stupid combos that you feel like the lane shouldn't be strong, but then they know something about it a bit more than you do, or like the synergy is a bit better, that they manage to win these lanes, and like suddenly like they have very good synergy in the game.
The last time we played them in a group stage where we two-0'd them, I think they messed up their drafts in both of their games, so I don't think we actually got to play the real Secret.
Like going into this match against them, I think we are kind of on even grounds. Like both of us have kind of, since that match, both of us have kind of gone through a win streak. Yeah, I think we are on even footing, and just excited to see how the game will play out.
Really interesting there that Tundra, despite, I feel, a lot of fan favorites, people, you know, I would say pros favorites actually. I would say maybe Secret could be fan favorites, but Tundra could be the pros favorites because we heard from Seb and Notel earlier, and they kind of picked Tundra to go forward, but they're actually saying in the interview there that they feel that they're on even ground.
They're just being humble, you know. Dota Pro players, like, very rarely do you hear someone say, yeah, I'm gonna own you, I'm much better. Like, we have a couple of those, but not too many. However, Tundra, I believe they shouldn't be as humble. The way that they're playing, it's magical.
Well, you've heard from us, and soon we'll hear from the casters, because we're ready to go into game number 2 of the Grand Finals.
Secret's turn to ban. Team Secret versus Tundra Esports. Grand Finals, Game 2.
10 seconds remaining.
Thank you very much, James. And yes, we're absolutely ready here in Singapore for Game 2 between Secret and Tundra. Once again, joined by Seb, Notel, and Fogs here for the draft. I mean, first off, boys, that Game 1, a pretty severe stomp, for the most part there from Tundra. What would you say you sort of put that down to overall? And what do you expect to see change coming into maybe this Game 2 draft? Because it's Secret, we've seen from them, they've got so much more to offer than this.
Tundra has a system, and I think, I'm going to try to break it down quickly before the draft develops too much, but it's about the map. It's about Neta pressuring one side of the map with his heroes, the Wraith Pack Tide, the Visage, the Brood, the Beastmasters, and Skitter doing the same thing on the other side of the map. He does not leave his jungle, he does not leave the safe lane for as long as he can, and he collects information. And only certain heroes can do that. Naga, one of the best in the game. Slark, Nighttime, Night Vision, really hard to go on this hero also. Nakes with Rage in a good Life Seeder game. And then the three other heroes are very fast-paced heroes, the Miranas, the Tinies, the Tuskars, the Pangoliers, that are gonna strike kind of left and right on the map depending on the enemy's movement. And that's how they kind of win the economy game, hit timings, and then close the game. So I think you really have to respect that and either, hurt their system or, find a way to counter it. I hope that Secret will adapt and really try to counter what Tundra does on the map a little bit more that game, so that they get an even footing, because they're great players too, and they can definitely beat them if on fair ground.
Absolutely. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This Game 2 draft off to a start, and no surprises so far.
I mean, I think it's a lot about the second phase bans. They do choose, the first phase, they could have chosen to go against either the Brood or the Doom. I also agree with Seb that you could probably, sooner rather than later, choose to change your target a bit. I think Skitter heroes are very important for them. This Slark, this Ursa, this CK, I don't think does nearly the same that a Naga does. Naga has been, the Naga games that they've had, it seems unstoppable. It seems like it's not fun to play against. And it's not like they first phased it, but I think the second phase bans were very wasted in all the games, more or less, that they played each other. And I think, they have to find the right ones.
Bit of pivot this time from Tundra, right? No Mirana, but they do get given the Marcy and the Visage. This combo is absurd. Side-kicked birds even later on. The lane is also ridiculous. And they have a lot of different combos. I've seen Tundra do stuff like this where you're now forced to maybe ban some heroes you don't want to. I've seen them do like this Luna Visage even at times that can sometimes just, you have to waste a ban because you just don't want to play versus something like that.
It's very strong, and Marcy is also deny pick, right? I think Marcy is one of the heroes that Tundra refuses to play against when it comes to Secret's playbook because they're so good at using it on lanes. I feel like Secret has one tool that can really cripple Tundra. It's the laning phase. They're very strong in the lanes. They execute. Neta even talked about it in the interview where he said that they respect a lot their laning and how much they're willing to push these lanes. And Marcy is one of the best heroes for that. So I think obviously Tundra would have been happy with the Mirana first phase, but they're like, we're gonna take the Marcy away.
I feel it's almost a shame. We saw the Monkey versus the Broodmother in one of the games. They completely annihilated the laning phase in that game. I think it was all three lanes that were going super well for them. And I want to say they could have done the same, don't waste a ban on the Broodmother, get your Dawnbreaker, stay within your comfort, get the Monkey. The Monkey is banned, so it might have something to do with it.
So we're back to the Tundra system, you're gonna have, you have to see how it's gonna develop. This Visage, gonna buy Wraith Pact, he's gonna take the tier 1 tower, he's gonna live in Secret's jungle, and the Marcy plus the 9 hero and the other support are gonna be missing. They're gonna be in the fog of war, and they're gonna make Secret, think twice about shoving this Visage away from his area. And on the other side of the map, you're gonna have Skitter doing the same thing with a Wraith King, or, he probably would have loved the Naga, no, Naga's out. And I really want Secret to try to target these heroes that can achieve that map dominance and force him into a more casual Ursa game, or these heroes that really cannot apply as much pressure on the map.
And also the Visage, that was the one they lost to, right? I also think it's now Tundra 1 game up, and it's the Mirana ban.
It's quite interesting, I think, the Nyx ban, because we haven't mentioned it in game 1, but Tundra lost to Secret where they had Nyx. And Nyx is one of the better heroes at disrupting map movement, right? At finding information himself or finding pickoffs and getting. And Tundra came into this grand final saying, what? Actually, this Nyx is more annoying than the king of your heroes that has been Leshrac so far. Yeah. So it kind of says a lot about what's going on, Dota-wise.
I like that point a lot, too, because a lot of times you can see the Nyx and it's like, he has Carapace is excellent this game, there's all this, but it's actually the scouting, right? It's actually so much about getting the information.
Finding out if Neta's alone or if Skitter's alone, and being able, to just get that quick pickoff.
Yeah. And now we see even the Beastmaster ban, right? A similar thing that you're talking about. It's controlling the map, trying to read things. So really interesting bans coming out from Tundra.
Yeah. I like the Secret bans much more this time around the second phase. The first phase is something else, but they're committing to a certain strategy. But the Naga's out, the Mirana's out. The amount of map tools that they get are getting very, very limited already, much more than in game 1.
I want to see the Dawnbreaker come out for Secret. I mean, I think that would be a really strong pick. It can crush the Visage.
Yes. If you look at what Secret did there was a game when they had this next Dawnbreaker silencer, and I felt like it gives them really strong lanes, so they can kind of beat Tundra at that game. And if they transition into the mid game, they have these global tools that even if Tundra kind of pulls off this outmaneuvering on the map, you have these global tools that are gonna allow you to, you know, even it out. You get the global silence, you get the Dawnbreaker ulti, and I thought it was an interesting approach. Definitely heroes I would like to see Secret look at.
Yeah, and we also get Secret as second pick for the. I mean, they won't get the choice in game 3 and in game 5, but now we're going to be able to see how strong the second pick is going to be for them. I think the flex pick again from the Dawn, or finding a hero that can, you know, add this global presence, break this map, but still remain like have some things remain flex, like the Leshrac Resolution can play it, and they can keep this till the end. But yeah, I think the second phase bans this time around much better from Secret.
Yeah. I like the Luna. That was when I was.
yeah, exactly.
It's
like I think
the
this
night
is thought
vision and
through.
everything.
I think the Mirana also, they would have gone for it for snaking. I think the Naga is a must ban for the rest of the series in second phase, unless they come up with the ultimate way to deal with it.
Yeah, Luna Visage, very strong combo. I mean, we've played Tundra and TI10 qualifiers, and they were doing this Luna Manta night vision abuse. So it's definitely a hero that they can use a little bit like a Naga. You know, constantly sending the Manta illusions, shotting the waves, sending them also to scout, because Skitter is one of the players that not only farms with Manta, he actually uses it as a scouting tool to increase his map presence.
And as we were talking about with the Naga, like how he was using the illusions instead of just going camp to camp to camp. He's cutting the wave, even though it's not efficient. He's getting a little bit more info, especially during nighttime. I mean, they had full vision the whole night.
Yeah.
Sometimes even just suiciding illusions, just literally to get any type of information.
Yep.
And you know, theoretically, there are two ways to deal with Tundra's, like a split push style. The CK is one of the heroes that they really enjoy doing that with. Okay, they go for the Phoenix into Chen. It's a great Phoenix game.
When do they play the Phoenix? I want to say it's only with Visage they've played it.
I think I only saw them play it once, if even that. I don't even know if I saw them play it here.
They played it. I've seen Snaking play Phoenix once this tournament, I want to say. I'm pretty sure.
So basically, I think Secret, you have two approaches. When you play against this split push heavy kind of style, you either match what they want to do, or you know, group up and ball up and try to force them into a 5 versus 5 fight at a pace that they don't really want to get into. And I feel like Chen Lesh is a perfect lineup to push the issue before Tundra kind of gets online with their heroes. You know, think about the Leshrac Bloodstone and the mech timing. It's going to be very close. These heroes play together really well. Chen is going to bring a ton of armor and a ton of buffs on this Leshrac that are going to kind of help him live through the Tundra burst. And maybe they can just snowball the game, because usually Tundra don't really look at these early timings, and they hope that they get to, you know, get away with their map stuff like they did game 1.
If you force this Visage and the CK to fight before they get the shard on Visage and the BKB on CK, they might just run into, you know, Leshrac can easily solo kill them. The Phoenix pick, I thought he played this tournament, but I don't see it. I think this is his first Phoenix so far at TI, and it's a classic hero versus Tusk, it's a classic hero versus Chen, and it's super good with the Visage. So I mean, we've seen him play it before. I think it's very cool to see something, you know, be busted out of the finals. It also makes a statement.
We're seeing a very different approach from Secret this game.
Very different.
Remember Chen Bristol back? Remember some Chen Bristol?
Yep.
At TI9?
Yep. I think this is a statement. It's like, you know what, this map stuff that you're forcing us to deal with, you're gonna have to play our game now. And it's gonna be a game of Leshrac, Chen, Bristol grouping up, going for early objectives, maybe even going high ground early. And it's like, have you thought about that happening to you?
You think Kuro's watching?
Hopefully he is.
I think inner Kuro right now is like push the base, push the base.
It lets them set the tempo even better, because last game they kind of wanted to, but their heroes didn't have to, especially after lanes, like things just crumbled. This one, it's, like you mentioned. They're going to be able to force them into Roche, force them to fights around towers.
Counter the Visage as well, Bristol back, like both on the lane, but also in the game. I also think he doesn't care at all, the CK and the Phoenix early on. I mean, later on it starts changing a bit. I really like Secret's approach so far.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I feel like, Dota theory-wise, they have a much better shot this game than the last one, in my opinion. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure on the 9 hero, because he needs to be the one buying time for House Kidder.
He doesn't get last
33 pick. And he doesn't get last pick.
10 seconds.
He needs to enable his side laners this game.
So do you pick against the Lesh, or do you pick...
5 seconds.
You actually don't know.
You don't know.
Playing Lesh. This
it could be Tusk Lesh. It's easy setup. I think it's quite laneable into the CK Phoenix, if it's going to be CK Phoenix, which I think it will be.
It's tricky. It's very tricky, actually.
Tundra's tended to not really prioritize, like, you know, counteracting like that matchup, though, right? Like, we've seen, like, Liquid's approach to Lesh, they pick, like, the lean a lot of times. 9 usually just sticks with his style.
Well, but still, 9 has his counter picks. Like, when he saw Secret pick Pangolier, he went for Lizard Man, I forget the name.
Primal Beast.
Primal Beast. And I think he will take his opportunity to counterpick when he can. Like he really wants, you know, when he saw the Lesh before, they picked the Tusk, knowing that most likely I can get this matchup, and that's the one he likes, you know. So now he has to pick blind, and I think Nisha might have an opening to really punish if he chooses.
Let's see what he's gonna look at. I mean, we are getting a Puppy Chen in TI finals, which I think is very exciting, by the way. Like, I love it when both teams are getting their bread and butter, you know, because this is where you're gonna get kind of the finest Dota out there.
Played Dota for 20 years, and you just pick your favorite hero, you know, the one you want to play.
Puppy Chen in TI finals. What else do you want to watch, you know?
That's what he also picked the Chen out. How many times versus Alliance?
Probably many times, yeah.
I mean, there was, I'm trying to remember the drafts for all 5 games.
10 years later, back at it. And what do they go for? Arc Warden. Okay, that is
very interesting.
That's quite the pick.
Yeah.
Quite different.
But look, I think Nisha is going to find something, don't you? I don't think he's going to accept the Leshrac mid versus this. I think he's going to choose a hero versus the Arc Warden. What's left? I mean, Pangolier is out. Batrider got banned, so they were already setting up for it. Is this Nine's first Arc?
Arc Warden is very nice with the Tundra's heroes. It's very nice with their playstyle. It plays a lot like a Naga. It's a hero that's hard to deal with, that can open areas safely, get information. You know, it's an amazing pick for Tundra's lineup. It's good against Lash, but I feel like Secret's lineup is one of the lineup that can make an Arc very scary, right? Like very scared, I mean.
But this is not a typical 9 hero, like whatsoever. Like maybe it's similar a bit to the OD, who doesn't rotate very much, but almost every 9 hero likes to rotate. Like there's Zeus and there's some other ones. Okay, Morphling. Yeah, here we go.
Morphling mid most likely into the Arc. Probably expected it to be a pretty good matchup. There it is, and it's going to be a Rezo Leshrac. And they're just kind of sacking this Leshrac a little bit. And because, yeah, it's a rough matchup. Leshrac mid against Arc is not fun by any means.
But last time he played it, he ended up with Blink, Bloodstone, Hex very early on in the game. And I think if he gets the same type of snowball or same type of game, I think it's going to look incredible. You close the gap versus the Arc. You don't care about the Visage. Like, you can also blow him up. I don't know. I like Secret's approach here. I really like it. And I think 9 might regret, you know, not having stayed for a more active hero. But let's see. I don't think anybody's going to help the Visage this game.
No, it's I mean, I feel Tundra's Dota. I think it's extremely powerful, but this is probably the first game, the game where I feel the most that they can be very challenged. Yeah, and they can be crippled. Yeah.
What's your sort of record, Fogs? You know, Nisha Morph, it's popped off before. Is this a game where we can expect to see Nisha get to a level where he's going to be having the potential to 1v5 in these team fights?
He's got good scaling. They got good ways to force team fights. It looks pretty strong.
I mean, I've said it before also in the last game. I think they do want to keep the ball rolling, Secret, and if they don't, I mean, Tundra's going to run away with it again, and they're going to get to play the map, and it's going to be a very painful slow death for Secret. Yeah, I mean, I think the ball is in Secret's court. They really have to score.
Nisha Morph is incredible. Like, he's one of the best morphs out there. He hasn't gotten to play it as much lately, but I think everybody that ever got to face his morph still remembers. He is an incredible morph player. He can make wonders in this game.
Let's have a look. We'll find out soon. Surely we'll be able to pop over to Coach. But before we lose your kind of final words, Seb, Secret, how do they bring us back from that loss in game 1?
Tempo. Play their heroes to their strength. You know, it's a Bristleback, a Leshrac, a Chen.
Thank you very much, Seb. Over to Slacks now.
Hello, thank you so much, Owen. I am here with Heen from Team Secret. Heen, rough game 1, as we saw, but what's the strategy here? Just give it to me straight. You know, when in doubt, Chen it out, or what are you guys going for?
No, it's just we want to be able to force objectives because it's been very hard to force fights or like catch them. So we're figuring with Chen, our ball is stronger and faster, and we won't get as frustrated trying to catch them or anything.
All right, well, thank you. Very informative. Appreciate it. Do you remember what Arc Warden does? It's been a while. Do you feel like you got enough counters to that and you're going to be okay with that last pick Morphling?
I mean, we played against Arc Warden a few times in scrims and maybe even matches. But so, yeah, it was not a complete surprise pick. Hopefully we're ready. I mean, game 1 didn't quite go as we envisioned, so...
All right, well, you know what? We are ready to see this thing go all the way. So, ladies and gentlemen, can you please give it up for this man? Give us some energy. And please give it up to our wonderful casters who will bring us in to game number 2.
Thank you very much, Slacks. Yes, we're ready to go here with game 2, Secret versus Tundra. Let's see if Secret are able to fare a little bit better, because that game 1, it was a rough one. Tundra coming out all guns blazing and being able to take that first map against Secret. I mean, overall, we did hear, of course, towards the end of the game, Secret, they were able to keep spirits high. We heard a lot of positivity from the comms.
Sure.
Exactly what you need right after, towards the end of a very rough start to the grand finals.
Yeah, and I like the big pivot that they made this game. Rather than looking to chase heroes around, looking to try to catch Tundra, which has seemed to be one of the biggest problems for most teams this tournament. They're the ones who is going to be forcing the issue and forcing Tundra to kind of react to them. So let's see if that works. We see right away, Tundra, they go for this level 1 smoke play. Incredibly strong level 1 with the Marcy, with the CK stun to chase heroes. But we see the Secret prepared. They had this early ward placed on top of their outpost to see immediately when smoke broke. So prepared for that early game.
And we'll see how well, Secret can deal with some of the more different heroes that Tundra are bringing into the fray this time. Eyes are going to be on 9, see how much he can do.
Oh, that is annoying.
He's going to be able to get a bit of damage down to Crystallis as he tries to get towards his lane.
He knows he has no risk. He's playing versus Chen in the lane, so you can easily go for these type of pressure plays. Give 33 that first few creeps advantage.
I mean, so this mid matchup as well. We're seeing two sort of greedy heroes here that have potential to really become the carries for both teams. The Morphling versus the Arc Warden. Anything exciting to come out of the laning stage? Is just going to be a trade and farm, or do one of these heroes have to be more careful than the other in this matchup?
Probably a trade and farm, maybe 9 slightly ahead if anything, but no, I'd say mostly just a trade. We've seen Nisha and just Morphlings in general. With the new skill build that you can go, you only have to put 2 points in attribute shift. You're able to prioritize having more points in adaptive and waveform. You're able to secure CS constantly, so I'd imagine Nisha does do just fine. Looking at top, this is probably the more exciting lane, I would imagine, to look at. The shards, the stun, Lesh, constant kill threats onto the Phoenix, maybe even onto CK.
Bottom lane. Those sprays are stacking up, but damage from Saxon 33 is enough to burst through Crystallis and take him out. Actually, he's going to even give a bit of a chase down onto Puppy.
He might go down too.
Finish him off as well. Saxon will be ready to dive in under the tower. It's the lane starting off with a double kill for 33. That's not something you want to see if you're Secret.
This is just the Tundra offlane special, right? I mean, this is always what they do. Somehow they're able to just always know how to apply so much pressure. And with this death, Soxa comes back, 6 tangos, a salve, 33. You see the items. They do this almost every time on the Visage. Tries to start with no regen, just tries to get mangoes and stats. So they can just keep doing this. I mean, Crystallis.
So much damage. He comes back into the lane and he's pretty much immediately down to a third of his HP. Top lane as well, we're seeing Resolution. He's getting zoned back, Snaking able to take down Zeitz's courier. The shards down, but dives at the ready.
The first few levels are incredibly impressive from this Marcy and Visage. It's one of their bread and butters. Puppy will start to attempt some stabilization with the lane, get the pullback. See what creeps he's able to get to kind of dissuade this damage that's going to be coming out. He gets a pretty good one. It's a good one to at least harass them back, kind of stop their aggression.
See how soon they're able to get to a point where Crystallis is I feel a bit more confident to step up the creep waves. It's not easy. Off to the side, Saxa.
They'll get the
creep.
Gonna go to look
to take down the creep.
They know how strong that creep can be. Good choice to kind of go for it there. And this is a great lane for the Visage where it's like, yeah, the Bristle, as the panel, as Seb and Noto were talking about, you do counter this hero in a way as the game progresses, and even in lane sometimes, but also you have infinite mana, right? Visage is just always able to just bash out those spells constantly onto a Crystallis' Bristle.
See there, of course, Puppy quite able to take the small camp back before the respawn. Saxa ensure that ever more tougher and tougher for Secret to gain momentum and control of the creep waves down in this bottom lane. 33 is able to hold it in a fantastic position.
Good position and tons of regen, so they can always go for this harassment. Crystallis, I believe he's got his ring. Yeah, he's got it on the courier, so we'll have some sustain. But his stats overall will be a bit low because it's going to take a very long time for that to come out. So could still look to apply pressure onto him there.
Has got both his spells on cooldown at the moment, so Secret will look to choose this time to strike. Skidder drags back Zeiss though. We'll ensure that last right click required to take Snaking down won't be allowed to be there.
Still holding the Fairy Fire as well, too. He's just kind of baiting them a little bit if they did try to commit. So far, looking at the mid lane, yeah, Nisha, he's doing just fine. He's actually gone 3-1-1 skill build. Okay. Not really feeling like he needs to go for any attribute shift at all versus an Arc Warden, only at 1 point.
And on this bottom lane, Puppy in particular has to be very careful. I mean, Crystallis as well, honestly. With the sidekick, with the rebound, push sprays are stacking up. At this stage, with the lead that they've already managed to get against the Bristle, it very much seems that Marcy and Visage, they can kill that Bristle before the quill sprays become too much and he starts killing them. They know exactly when to push it, and they know that they can get away with it.
It's just like last time, right? When they have this Tide plus this Hoodwink versus that Pudge. This time it's Visage with Marcy. Heavy physical damage, Blades of Attack again on 33. Same build he's gonna go as last time. Not the phase boots, but of course just Wraith Pact, high damage.
I mean, how do you sort of recover from the state of this bottom lane? And it feels like one more death from Crystallis down here, and it's going to be very, very difficult to bring this lane back in Secret's favor.
I like that he bought the raindrop. I think that's a good, at least, attempt to be able to, he can get a trade kill probably with those quills that we saw Soxa drop low. Just any type of small stats, any type of small survivability will help. His ring, he's still sitting behind the towers. He actually hasn't brought it out himself. He will in a second.
I think the scary thing as well, of course, is from Saxa, you know, having a good start down bottom with the levels that he's going to be getting in on him. You know, the other lanes, they've got to be prepared as well, right? The perfect hero Marcy to have high impact at any part of the map that happens around these tier 1 towers early. They've got to be prepared for Saxa to turn up and turn things around, just like he was doing in game 1 as a Hoodwink. Bottom lane, another jump over towards Puppey. Puppey and Crystallis try and stand their ground, but Puppey goes down. Crystallis might have a chance to chase Saxa out this time, as Saxa, has he got any further options of getting away? He doesn't, so Crystallis finally finding a bit of action going in his direction.
Honestly, maybe that's the way you have to do it. Just Puppey has to sacrifice himself. He has to be the one to just soak those soul assumptions for Bristleback to just get this type of trade. Otherwise, yeah, definitely seeing a bit of promise. But Crystallis, once he has Vanguard, he'll be able to at least stay down here a lot easier, and he's getting pretty close to it.
As we can see now, despite sort of the deaths that have occurred down on that bottom lane, Crystallis, he's pretty much keeping straight even with the farm that Skeeter, you know, carrying for Tundra on the other side. The map is getting as well.
Yeah, pretty much Vanguard is going to be done, so should be a lot safer. And Puppey, he's going to start getting some levels, so he's going to be able to actually protect Crystallis. We see him grab some magic resistance and also just a little bit of extra damage. So that actually will help a lot. That little bit of cloak aura that's going to come out could protect Crystallis enough. Let's see.
See if Saxa 33 can get away with this, but now with the levels, indeed, at this stage, it very much feels like it's not going to be nearly as easy as it was for Tundra in the early minutes of this lane to take down the Bristle. Crystallis, whilst there's been a few deaths here and there, he's got through the rough bit of the lane.
But Visage level 6 already. That is pretty massive for 33, having it this early on. The Vlad is going to be at 2. Digging.
Caught him in the shards. Nisha, he'll look to step over and finish off the kill. He'll get it. Zayas should go down into the spark break. So both mids able to take a kill out of this one.
33's here.
He's turned up with the familiars, ready to chase out Nisha. Nisha's got a fair few one charges.
It's only a level 1 shift.
Back up, he can't. The burst is there from 9. It ends up being a double kill for the mid-arc warden.
And they do punish him for having level 1 attribute shift, right? Maxing a waveform, having 2 points in the adaptive. You do see that they're actually able to get that damage come out. And all that is because 33 hits the 6 so fast down bottom.
He's able to come in. And of course, the timings that are enabled off the back of that is pretty huge already. The completed Midas out onto 9. Wow. He's able to get this, you know, started very, very early on.
Beautiful.
As he's going to be making the money. There's every reason to believe that unless Secret can make any moves to find this Arc Warden, 9, he's going to start shooting far, far ahead of anyone else in this game with regards to the farm he'll get.
It feels like it could get to these points where maybe the CK pick is kind of this distraction, you know, and this Arc Warden, he's going to try to transition hard into that real carry for his team. Other good thing about the double Midas, as we saw there, you automatically get 2 neutral items. It's actually very nice when you're able to get it this early on 9.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And now they're actually, so look at this, bit of a dynamic change. They're going to put the Visage mid, have him match up versus that Morphling, and they're going to send the Arc Warden for the time being down bottom.
So top lane. Trying to go for snaking. They do connect with the stun.
Nice play.
Secret, they get in and take him down, and will in fact see Tundra sort of bail out from this top lane. Give a chance for Secret to put some pressure on. And likely with the TPs out, probably not going to be an area of the map that Tundra will look to hold on to. I mean, we did see this, of course, last time round as well, right? Game 1, 9 minutes in, Secret, they get this good timing on the tier 1. Snaking will turn back up. See if he's able to do anything on his own. He has to be very cautious. Secret still with 3 members around, looking to pressure on this top lane.
He's just soaking, it looks like. Just trying to soak up any of that bit of experience.
So the fact that this has happened twice now, it very much seems that, you know, Tundra as a team, they sort of make the call to just not put any resources into holding that tower. Just let it go.
They tend to be, you know, that extremely efficient team, as we hear lots of players talk about. Very frustrating to play versus Tundra because they know how to dodge these plays, dodge the aggression, trying to make as little mistakes as possible. Another neutral item, of course. And yeah, giving Saksa now some levels too. So distributing that wealth, top 2 net worth, and the CK Skeeter. He's hero. He jungles just fine. He's going to be able to keep his pace up and probably look to do what he was doing anyway last time, is still look to connect top, use Phantasm just to farm, kind of acting as this pseudo Naga Siren.
Of course, last game, very much saw that Secret, they never really found that chance to sort of get Crystal involved. Top lane snaking, out with the dive, doesn't matter. Nisha has got those final few right clicks chasing him down. You get the kill, so things looking good here for Nisha. You know, despite the quick Midas timing on 9, Nisha very much close behind him in farm.
And he's got this matchup always as she sucks, so they actually get on him.
Got anything to rebound out towards? He doesn't. Secret, they hold him in the river. They're going to bring it up even now, 6-6. Secret definitely doing a bit of a better job this time round at responding to some of these movements that Tundra's making around the map.
And playing around Nisha, right? With the skill build that he has so much burst potential. He actually has the gap closing potential as well too, versus most of these heroes that can sometimes be a bit annoying to get on top of. So far looking to continue to play aggressive around this Morphling.
It definitely seems sort of a bit of a heavier focus around playing around this jungle of Tundra. Just trying to make sure that Skeeter doesn't get nearly as much space as he did last game. Obviously, the difference in dynamic this time is the concern that too much is focused on trying to shut down Skeeter's area. 9 goes uncontested, and it's been quite a few minutes now that 9's been able to sit down here on this bottom lane. He's getting complete free fall.
He's starting to be pretty annoying too. Crystallis is caught in an awkward position, eats 2 or 3 of those spark rates.
Strong cut from Secret. I'm going to try and make moves here. And so far, Resolution sides, they've done a pretty good job at killing off Snaking when they catch him. Skeeter, it's going to be a bit of a bigger kill. They're going to go straight in for him.
Close to the tower, though. Let's see.
And it looks like Tundra may have made the call to not sort of throw in any further TPs. I mean, it's not even needed there. Tundra, they make the sort of calm response to not react with TPs, knowing that Skeeter's just able to walk that one off.
But with that slight moment of like space at all, you see Puppey rotate toward mid. This is how they want to be playing. They want to be the ones who are dictating that pace, dictating this tower aggression. But we'll be able to claim this one early. Nisha, he's almost got his Dragon Lance also finished up, so very farmed so far on Secret. And they're also, in the meantime, I saw they are starting to stack Ancients a little bit too, so making sure they do have that condition for the Bristleback to continue getting that increased farm. So far, Secret, though, infinitely better than that last game.
He's certainly feeling a bit more solid, but I imagine to a sort of a point with regards to the drafts, this is sort of expected, right? This time around, Secret, they gave themselves a bit of a better shot of having this sort of earlier hold, earlier pressure that they're able to apply, and at the same time, the change with 9 playing an arc warden instead of
playing like a carry.
He's going to react to sort of these moves a little less. So I don't think Tundra, they're not going to feel too under pressure despite losing some of these early towers. They've gone for a bit of a different approach this time round. And, you know, at the moment, under a 1k gold difference between the two teams. 9, I think he's still very happy.
Yeah, it's a totally different approach, right? The last time they had the Tusk, who's super aggressive, constantly rotating, making plays. Now it's just, it's a full economy game, really. Everyone's just trying to find as much farm as possible until they find this timing. Wraith Pact is done. Looks like now they're trying to speed up a little bit, go for a tower pressure of their own.
They'll take this one for sure. And we have no interest in this fight, this defense around this bottom tower.
Secret's maximizing. You see now, as we were mentioning, the stacks. Triple Ancient stack, double hard camp. So Crystallis will have a bit of enabling coming out here. Juicy stacks.
Good farm for Crystallis. We saw very much in game 1 as the Pudge pretty much held behind the entire time in terms of farm on cores. You can clear these stacks, get on the road towards the Aghanims. That's going to be the point where you can imagine the Secret, they're going to really start stepping things up and get up towards the tier 2 pushes with a Vanguard, Aghanims, Bristle. They're going to want to do as much as they can aggressively with it before 9 suddenly turns up and he has 3 items done.
Very farm-heavy game, though. Showing all 3 lanes. See, the Morphling shows bottom for a second. They show mid, I believe, on Zayats. Even the Lesh top 2, but good ward coverage. So Secret, they know they're safe for the moments. I'm kind of grouping together with Puppey, with the mech, with the Hand of God. They're tanky. There's a lot of damage on Tundra, but this Bristleback with all these heals might just be able to pierce through them.
Let's see if they can get on top of any of Tundra.
Ooh, I mean,
Tundra's staying pretty hidden outside of the vision of Secret. I mean, Secret, they know that Tundra do have a few up here in the jungle.
If they get any big kills, Secret could even look for Roche potentially.
They're going to settle for Saxa. Zayas catches wind of the Marcy off to the side. They're going for Saxa. For Tundra, Definitely not the biggest of losses there. They had a few cores farming in that area. In the Secret, they weren't able to find them.
They're going to do it. They're going to go for this.
Roche.
They have more than enough damage. They have the goo.
Do they do anything about this Tundra? Are they going to expect the Secret back up as quickly as they did into the pit?
It's not an easy place to fight.
It's going down so quick.
Yeah, it's going to be dead already. Secret dictating the pace.
Very, very, very good moves here from Secret so far. Absolutely getting to play their game so much more than they were able to do so last game here. 15 minutes in, they've got the Aegis in their hands, so...
So close.
Well, it was close indeed. Snaking and D throwing out a tip for that
Radiant's
one.
bottom tower is under attack.
As close as it gets, really, on the back of an escape in the TP.
So Tundra perhaps wanting to make a move of their own now. They do, because everyone's shown, right? Secret, they haven't shown a lot in these lanes, so Tundra looks like they do want to try to counteract this. They have 9 who can constantly always show up to the fights too.
Yeah, I think for the most part, Tundra know that even though the Secret have that Aegis, it's sort of an Aegis that's going to be used to just continue to allow Nisha to farm safely. Yeah. And Secret will be a little bit split up, which gives the chance for Tundra to push for towers themselves and to sort of head straight into these fights, knowing that they'll probably have the numbers advantage at this stage.
And they can take these towers pretty quickly as well too. Visage with the CK Phantasm tends to be always the Tundra strategy, right? There's so much on the floor. Break Pact, illusions, familiars, etc. So they can go for this push, but on the other side, Secret
taking Tier 2 tower here. Nice and early, 16 minutes in. Tier 2's for full on the top lane. And now that we'll really be able to start taking over this jungle, this half of the map from Tundra. Really sort of shutting down the areas that Tundra, they kind of need to find, or at least their 2 main cores. They need space. Skeeter and 9, they want to be soaking up quite a lot of the map to get farm on these 2 carries.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to be quite a long time before Tundra just looks for this head-on type of fight. Unless they see, like we said, unless they see Secret completely split up or something like that, feels like it's going to be quite a farm game coming out from them. Even Soxon now showing mid. He might get punished for this.
They got him before. Looks like they're going to go for him again.
See if they can find him, Zayats. I don't think they got vision of him for a second. Now they did.
Saxa has Skeeter by his side, but
too much.
Won't be able to jump over towards him in time. That is Saxa going down.
Similar wards coming out from Tundra as they did in the last game. So this one, exact same ward, and actually this one not on the high ground this time, but similar kind of purpose to watch any of these movements that are coming out from Secret, because Tundra, as we said, I think this is really going to be pretty emphasis of farm until 9 says, hey guys, I'm ready to show up. And maybe that's going to actually happen sooner than we expect, because I believe the Gleipnir is about to be done.
Just a recipe away.
That could be the indicator for them to show up. It does add so much potential for this hero. The damage, the control, everything, of course. But allows you to just freely land spark rates and kind of just keep people away from getting on top of you. So let's see if that is when they are going to look to fight.
It could be difficult to close that gap onto 9, especially considering the heroes that are drafted around him. A lot of frontline, even sort of from the supports, right?
Yes.
Snaking, getting him with a supernova. Saxa throwing himself in as the Marcy, getting him with the rebound. Very much multiple ways that Tundra can set up a team fight to just allow 9 to go to work, with Secret having a really tough time getting on top of it.
Constantly thinking about it.
It's hard to push for this tower, even with the moments left on the Aegis. Secret being very careful about how they look to make the next step.
It's a risky move. Don't want to overextend and get 5-man. They haven't seen this. They haven't seen the arc ward in a while, so they probably don't know either what 9's got just yet. Level 13 on this arc already. Running around as a unit, 4 heroes together on Secret. Well, it's Chrysalis. Looks like he's got the BKB ready, so it feels like, yeah, Secret, they're just going to keep trying to push the tempo a little bit faster here. Even a blink now on the Lash 2 for Rezo, so as you mentioned, can be a little bit hard to maybe get to this arc warding without just the Morphling getting on him. Now Rezo's got a tool of his own.
Okay. And do you very much feel that Secret are on a timer? Like, even though they have this niche Morphling that's going to be able to get to these incredible stages of power in terms of scaling, you still kind of fear the Arc Warden as the moments pass?
Fear the high ground for sure. Rezo.
Tundra got to quickly back out, snaking. Away in time, that snowball not able to catch him. Tundra avoiding the moves of Secret. Secret just trying to get some sort of aggressive play out of these final few seconds that they have on the Aegis of Nisha. It's back over towards the mid. Saxa. A bit of a chase down onto Puppey. Puppey has got back up on the way. Chrysalis heading over to help out, and Tundra. They won't try and poke up into the triangle of Secret quite yet. Maybe they will with Skeeter at the front. He's actually going to go for Puppy. See Chrysalis now as Chrysalis starts to try and push back Tundra and Nisha.
Coming.
It's coming in from the side. They're over the snowball over on Skeeter, but Sax is in with the rebound. Stone up to Nisha. Nisha starting to try and shift. But that's gone. He's got Aegis though. He's going to be back for round 2. Chrysalis charging with the BKB over towards the Phoenix. The Snake. He's able to get the Supernova off. Secret, they've got to back away from the ultimate for now. As 9 turns up with the Tempest double. No longer an easy fight for Secret to charge into. Zayas, he's trying to find some sort of angle from the side. But Tundra, here's a full fight, man. They're looking towards Naked, but the dives back up. They get the stun. Control onto Skeeter. Skeeter turns with the stun himself, but he's life stealing back up. It's not enough, though. Skeeter goes down. Secret able to get 1 kill out of this, maybe more. Chrysalis trying to lead the charge. Secret, they want to get something else out of this. Tundra, Saxa in the trees. Duke off to the side, back under the tier 2. He'll be fine, but Secret, they force a fight there around the expiring Aegis of Nisha. They get Skeeter, and with that in mind, they'll be able to get themselves straight onto Tundra's half of the map and continue to grow this league.
Perfectly rallied, right? Rallied around Puppy. That's got to be the name of the game. He's got the plants, he's got the mech, he's got all these auras. We see the ice armor coming into play. Chrysalis had no fear. He pops BKB and he just starts charging right through everybody. And then they nicely kite and play around that Supernova beautifully. Tundra maybe going a little bit too hard going into this Secret lineup when there still is that Aegis. So 10 seconds until it was going to go down.
Yeah, it was a very clean reset as well there for the Secret. As soon as the Supernova comes out, they're able to sort of back off. And you can see, you know, from Tundra, they still commit into this. They very much feel that they've got the strength to do so with the 5 of them. It wasn't quite the case. Losing Skeeter here to what was a very patient Zayas, just keeping himself held to the side, looking for that opportunity to open things up onto Tundra from maybe an angle that they weren't quite ready to sort of expect that entrance from the toss from. Back in action, talking about the toss, Zayas, in with a jump, they lock down Snaking, Skeeter looks to turn, they got the gliding control out, but
Skeeter
trapped. Trapped on the low ground, he'll stand his ground, the turtle will the Prince coming out, take out the 2 of them. It's a double kill for 9.
Oh my, Saxa gets the 2-man rebound and they get the chain stun from the birds.
I mean,
man.
This time round, very much a case of Secret kind of making the move into committing for the fight, but not having what it took there to sort of take Skeeter down at the same speed they're able to do back mid. Tundra able to turn. And immediately off the back of taking down those 2 cores, they'll take the tier 1 tower. And closing that lead, the Secret were building. It's back down to sort of straight even here on the goal.
It's so much sustain that comes out really from Tundra's draft too. Their Vlads, their sidekick, everything coming to play. I mean, look at Skeeter. I mean, watch his HP.
I think a couple of nice armlet toggles there as well for Skeeter, very much keeping him fully in action. Between that and the heals, there's just too much. They couldn't kill the CK this time round.
Not rallied around Puppy. You know, they have to be a little bit careful when they don't have all these auras that are making them that much tankier. Tundra's damage is pretty insane.
And when they go for those plays and 9's just able to sort of sit back at a distance, it's concerning. You know,
he's loving
2
life.
kills for 9.
And now they also have an AC, so starting to build up these auras to even counteract and play against this Chen, but also protect versus this big damage that comes out from the Bristle and that Morph. 33 is quite large.
Yeah, and we see with 9 next time queued up is going to be the Blink Dagger, so it'll be even harder for Secret to get that jump onto him. We see any sort of snowball or hero running up at this Arc Warden. 9, he's going to be able to blink back, reposition, and allow the rest of his team to sort of be there in between him and Secret.
I love this type of build. Eventually, you can always build into like these overwhelming blinks and whatnot on Arc Warden, and then you have these double blinks and all this aggression you can do too. It's very oppressive. It's Tundra now starting to find their footing completely.
They'll look for tier 2 themselves.
Sidekick bird. Look how quick the tower drops. See you later.
Gone in a matter of seconds, even if that. And off the back of that, immediate smoke from Tundra. They know that Secret's playing over on Tundra's half of the map around their jungle.
They're feeling incredibly strong with this newfound AC on 33.
This is a tough time for Secret to take a fight.
They also disassembled, so the BKB is at ready.
9, the Tempest only start things off with the glide, they grab back Zayas. Secret, they've got to run.
I mean, that's also really cool that he can do it with the blink too. Right now, he has an initiator. They don't need to actually rely on the Marcy being the one to jump in. He just blinks in and gets like life for initiation. Yeah, BKB, Skeeter had just finished that one up, so they felt strong to be able to go for this play. And now he's got Mage Slayer as well too, so items starting to be picked up on the side of Tundra, not only just to do lots of damage, but of course, damage mitigation as we've seen so much from them. AC, Mage Slayer, it's going to start to reduce a lot of Secret's potential.
It's so hard for them to burst through Skeeter like they were able to do that one time when he was caught on their half of the map.
It's a really good item this game, just like last time, versus that Lash versus the Bristle, reducing damage of the Quills, even the burst that comes out from Morphling. So, it's starting to come together for them. It's a very common build, of course, too, for Skeeter.
I think for Secret, Nisha, almost certainly making the call for them to just sort of hold off on any further engagements until he gets his BKB done.
Yeah.
About half the gold away from the recipe, and it will be there, but going to be a little later than the timing that Roshan is going to be back in the game here. Roshan respawning.
They're locking up.
They are up on the high ground. They definitely want to try and do their best to push Tundra away from going for the Roche. See if they can hold them off from it. That's Tundra. They won't feel the need to be too scared of Secret. You know how strong they are. Secret, they'll look for the smoke up. Trying to catch Tundra from an angle they won't expect is not going to be easy when Secret currently hold the position they are. They're going to try and swing around from the west.
Lanes are starting to kind of get pushed out, though. We see Tundra cutting a wave mid.
Got this ward on 9. At 9, he's already out of this area.
This is the Tundra special, right? They start shoving those side lanes in to try to put you into this awkward position of a fight. Everyone rallied around each other.
How do you make the call of Secret? How do you make the jump? Tundra with their own smoke.
They don't want to overextend for these type of jumps either. Like we were saying before, they need to stay kind of rallied around Puppey. Make sure that they can utilize these auras at a maximum.
Tundra just rotating sort of all the way around where Secret's tried to step out for.
They found Puppey.
They're going to be able to get on the easy kill first. Straight on over the chair. Puppey caught by the Hex, taken down. Zions tries to roll in, but there's no place for him here.
Puppey pig-poled himself. Doesn't even get any heals off or anything. No Wraith Pack, no mech. Caught by the stun anyway, so likely dies. But now, it's an option for them to go for Roche.
And with both supports down, I don't think the callers of Secret are going to want to turn up for this.
Oh boy.
This should be a free and easy Roshan for Tundra.
Free shard as well. Skeeter's going to be loving that. He actually passes it away. Looks like he's going to give it to 9. Okay, so more ways for him to protect himself and also magic resistance. So they can actually hold it. So we're talking so much about damage mitigation, of course, but this is another element that I feel like we don't really get to see too often. You fight inside the bubble.
Yeah.
Your Lash, this Bristle, the damage might not be there.
It's going to be a fair bit of protection. Indeed, able to be kept consistently up and out on the field.
And things are starting to get a bit scary because the scaling for Tundra is getting quite strong. Even the Marcy, level 12 is online. BKB is on the horizon. 12 on Phoenix. Game plan for Secret is starting to get kind of dissuaded.
Around the mid, they do find 33.
Okay.
Allen on his own.
He's very deep.
They might be able to do something about the familiars as well here.
Big pickup.
The slip up, a rare one as well there for 33. Out on his own. Be out now for 40 seconds.
Can they turn it into more?
Is there something they can do with this one?
Yeah, they have to push out this bottom lane. Top is being dealt with Puppey, but do they have an opportunity to go for anything here?
Sax is very close to his BKB. Already, once again, Tundra support, so many games where their supports just turn into additional cores. Courses of Marcy. Very much sort of the direction that Saxa will go as the minutes pass. Skeeter, so having his Blink Dagger done, may have killed 33, but indeed it definitely feels like there's not a whole lot they can do with that. They're looking towards 9's Tempest double at the top. See if they can sort of burst through that, get a bit of extra gold for themselves. They will, they'll take it down.
Have to go for the top play because you looked at the side lanes. Mid lane, Phantasm was pushing it. Bottom, Phantasm Illusion was also pushing it. So it's a typical Tundra trying to shove those lanes down, and now they see this. They see them split up. So Tundra, they're looking to strike.
Full axe on Crystallis.
Comes out late though.
Does not quite at the timing that they would have hoped for, especially considering the decent start they did have to this game. Zayat, maybe the one left behind up top. It's Tundra, everybody back on the map now, ready to get together. Push down on this top lane. Still many minutes of Aegis to play with. Full Octarine done on 9.
He's so far 6,000 ahead of his counterparts.
And there's going to be no catching up in terms of farm unless Secret are able to find these fights where Nisha's able to pop off, get the kills, somehow take down this Arc Ward, and it's going to be a lot of money if they're able to do so.
It's not an easy task.
He's got his Chrysalis done, Nisha, so stepping up the damage a bit. See how explosive he will be if he's able to get in the center of the fight with the waveform, stand his ground between the BKB and the Manta that he has.
He's going to need as much... I feel like it's really appropriate that he's going this. I feel like they're really just going to need all the physical damage as possible, because as we were saying, you know, they just have so many different ways to mitigate that magic damage that they always tend to do, especially with that arc warded bubble as well, too. So yeah, straight physical damage, go waveform attack target, and with that, with the goo as well, too, he could be dealing a lot of damage, but so far, Tundra, they've started to really just take over this map.
Is under attack.
5k lead, 4 to 5k. I mean, nowhere near as terrifying as the numbers were showing at this moment in the game, in game 1. But still, you very much feel that one more fight, if the next fight crumbles for Secret, that number, that lead's going to triple. Secret, they cannot afford to lose another team fight here against Tundra. At the moment, very much seems like they're opting to wait out the Aegis the Skeeter has. Not looking to head straight into anything for this final minute. The Skeeter has that second life.
Is under attack.
Again, pop those Phantasm to send out to all these side lanes. Bottom is being pushed, but immediately 9 goes down. So, again, sticking together, Tundra, and they will just find a freebie.
They will indeed, Zayas. One that they catch with the farm that Skeeter has.
And now there's
completely destroyed.
High ground. They've got drums for these birds. They've got the sidekick we're going to see on the bird too. And look at the speed. Look how fast it drops.
It's going quickly. Fortification is there from Secret.
They've got the Rezo. They've got Shard on Rezo, so he's going to be able to slow it down a little bit with these chain stuns.
We'll see if Nisha can do anything here. He's ready to TP over. Help out with the defense.
Oh, this is dirty. Look at these birds. Birds with magnetic field magic resistance, the attack, I mean, they're so strong.
They are huge annoyance to deal with here for Secret. We'll go for the resummon.
Stun, Skeeter.
He's low, but he's still got 20 seconds or so left on the Aegis. He's going to back off. We'll see them catch out the two of them with the root. Skeeter focuses in now. Albion going down.
Rezo.
Those final few seconds of the Aegis. He's ready for round 2. Saxa, he'll charge him with the unleash of the BKB. Quickly turning towards him with his right clicks. They put an end to the Marcy's life. Saxa to fall. Grab them on the Chrysalis. Gear of 33. They get back in on top of the Bristle. They take him down. Nisha popping the BKB. He's having to use it to retreat back to the high ground. Skeeter, he's in straight away. Blinks up into the high ground. They've got the lockdown over towards Nisha. Waveform back up in time. Nisha gets away. Double buyback from Secret. They're putting everything into this defense. But Skeeter's in with a chaos ball over towards Resolution. It doesn't matter though. Skeeter goes down. Secret with the 2 buybacks. They'll be able to hold and push Tundra back.
Nisha able to stand his ground there. Look at the damage done. 9,000 damage from the Morphling. The buybacks coming perfectly.
A defense for sure here from Secret, but they'll want more.
They got to push forward for sure.
Priscilla spending up for that one. See off to the side. Zayats. He's got the catch there. The gap control onto Snake King. Snake King popped the supernova, but Chrysalis
is going to die.
And he's ready to help take the egg down. Secret. They'll find another down bottom. Rezo. He's got his eyes on 9. That's already been used, and he's out in time. 9 able to get away before Nisha's able to put a stop to him. They'll still clean up the Tempest double. A Secret, with this sort of pushback, they're able to bring in the mid lane, bring in the bottom lane, able to get the creep waves back under sort of their momentum, and they may just be able to take some tier 2s away from Tundra here, close the gap, close the lead that Tundra's had for sort of the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, this time it's Tundra fueling themselves a little bit too much in that fight and just get counteracted from those buybacks. The damage, this time Rezo's able to hold his ground.
I mean, we're very much seeing it. You know, you get given sort of any window from Tundra, you have to take full opportunity of it.
Immediate smoke.
Exactly what Secret's doing.
Yep, they got to smoke, sweep the map. They still have some heroes dead. Ult's on cooldown. Try to get as much as you can out of all
they've got to keep their foot slammed down on the fatal hit.
60-33.
The fight 33 off to the start. Protect himself for now, but they're surrounding him, and he's got nobody else in the area. So 33, he'll go down. Secret. They continue to play it hard and fast, fighting back.
Big place.
Tundra.
A huge place, really. Those buybacks are really coming into play. 33, even he accepts that he had the Aeon disc locked. He's like, no, no one's coming to help me. As Secret find their way back into this game. Nisha, he's massive now. Level 20 about to be taken. Also, Daedalus is finished.
Big damage to come out from this morph.
He's going to be able to focus fire these targets a little bit better.
I mean, it was seen, as I say, so many times before. Nisha on the morphling. This is the hero. You want to have him in on this sort of position. He can absolutely carry any sort of game to the later stages when he's on his morphling. To top lane. So of course now done.
Rezo, he's very deep. There's a Hex.
They'll get the opening Hex. And Rezo is going to be able to get anything off. He's not. Phantasm's out. An overwhelming amount of damage there from Skeeter and the Phantasm.
That's the Hex reveal. He had no idea that was going to come. Usually you'd be able to maybe play around the pounds coming in or the rebound coming in from Marcy with the BKB, but did not expect that Hex from the tree lines. Roche, it'll be a long spawn, 2 minutes. Zayats standing under a ward here. Very careful how far up he is.
I mean, Secret are absolutely going to want to do their best to keep tabs of when Tundra head into the pit. They'll want to get out there, they'll want to contest them. They do not want Tundra getting this next Roshan.
Nice play from Nisha. The illusions down bottom, we see them cutting the wave. So making sure that they always deal with those lanes. It seems like it's always like the most important thing when you're playing versus Tundra, keep that lane equilibrium. Will be addressed immediately. Nine shows up. And they're going to just keep peeping into the pit. That's going to be that next big thing, 90 seconds.
It really is. So if Secret can set up in a fashion to make sure that they are ready to take this fight around this area.
Important to look at these buyback statuses at the moment too. So. Ooh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Hopefully simply sort of some, potentially maybe just a hotkey issue or something. See if that's going to be fixed by a quick reset here for snaking. Very much, yeah, the moment that we're going to see them leading towards now. He's back in. Let's see if he can use his courier now. Give it a quick check.
Look at lane positioning at the moment, though. Secret have to try to fix their lanes a little bit. They do have this Harpy creep, maybe to perhaps try to cut things, but the moment Tundra have lanes in a very good position.
Let's have a look.
Phantasm is up in a moment as well, too, so they're going to be able to keep going for this shove play. And yeah, Roche constantly going to be getting scouted. And the important thing is, too, Secret doesn't know about that deep ward down south. The one that was scouted Zayats for, that's a very sneaky one that has not been seen. Oh.
It's not a good sign.
Uh-oh. Lucas gets Courier's bug.
Let's see if there's going to be a hopefully simple solution to this.
A standard unlucky.
You can say so. Yeah, unlucky.
And that Nisha smile.
See if we're able to get this sorted. A little bit of a, you know, not really something you can play on with.
Maybe it's locked, he says. Let's see if they can fix it. So a big thing really to look at is, I mean, this Hex is going to be a big one, really.
So it looks like we're just getting this checked out now on the stage. Hopefully should be an easy enough fix. I mean, not something I could say I've run into before, right?
I've had it with neutral items sometimes when you're trying to take it with wars and smoke. Maybe something like that is happening, but it doesn't have a neutral there, so.
So I think with maybe the speed that we did have to reconnect the first time round, could have been without a client reset, so.
Yeah, let's see.
Probably go for the full restart this time round.
Hopefully, if not, he'll be able to at least drop the wards and give them to a different courier so somebody else can bring them, but.
Still wouldn't quite be ideal.
No way.
Of course, this pause coming at a very important moment of the game. 17 to 17 here, 35 minutes in. Without a doubt, very much getting much more of a balanced game of Dota 2 on our hands this time round. Secret, they've dealt much better with what Tundra's brought against them this time round.
It's really neck and neck. Just because, I mean, especially how big Nisha really is, how much he's going to be able to do with this Daedalus. And he's approaching his second item afterwards, too. So survivability will be there for him. All right, let's see.
Let's have a look. Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen, that things are going to be all working after the pause. Let's see.
Doesn't look like it.
It looks good. Oh, is it?
No, it's spazzing. I actually see it. It's like it's like stutter walking actually in the base, I think. Looked like for a second it tried to move, but yeah, it says retrieving items. See, look. If you click on snaking skirt, it says retrieving items. On the actual courier, it's a buff.
Oh, okay, now we're giving it another try.
Because usually it tries to pull it from. Well, he dropped it. There we go. Looks like we're good to go.
A little bit of a way to break out of a bit of a soft lock that was there on the courier. But it's all good.
I think we all needed that. You know, a little bit of a reset. Okay, let's get back into it.
So, you know, that was always a bit of a concerning position, but we're all good. We're all good. It has been fixed. We'll see if it shouldn't be an issue down the line. Maybe the courier was just sort of stuck or something. But it's good. It's all good. We're back on. And around, of course, the focus. Next up for both teams going to be this Roshan. Just in a minute until it's going to respawn.
Wow, Nisha already.
All satanic.
Yeah, she has it.
He's getting the items, Nisha. He's getting the items to be able to do this. But still, yeah, obviously huge gap in net worth between him and the Arc Lord. That's always going to be expected up to a certain point at this stage, especially with the amount of freedom that Nine's had. And Nine, of course, this game 4-0-5. Pretty much complete free farm across the map.
If they can get the Hex, though.
They're able to get that opening. There's no save, though. It's going to be there. Give Nisha a bit of a chance to break out of this initiation from Tundra. They jump across sides, looks towards 33. They push Saxa out towards the side. Nisha beating him down, takes out the Marcy. They look towards the Tempest double next. Tundra losing that Marcy, losing Saxa like this. They're very careful about how they commit to the fight further.
Beautiful play, really, from Zayats. Just immediately, that's the big thing they have to watch out for. It's just the chain control. If they can chain stun, chain hex the Morphling, that's the way that Tundra kills. I mean, all eyes on Zayats to go for those games.
Oh, there's again the Hex. So Zayats by his side.
He's got to be there every time.
Single time. Zayats making sure that there's a chance for Nisha to fight back. They catch him with the furthest. No, Nisha's in so much trouble. They've taken him down.
He bought out.
Out for 80 seconds.
He didn't have BKB still available, and they just come in for him. I don't think Secret saw that.
All the apples are satanic to rely on, but even if he gets that off, he's getting caught in the stuns.
Oh, boy.
Almost certainly.
And, I mean, Rosh now is for the taking.
It certainly is.
It's a big one.
Perfect time for it to be back up here for Tundra. They head over to the pit. And with no Nisha, no Zayats, nothing that Secret can do about this. This is going to be a free Roshan here for Tundra.
And Zayats is there. He's there perfectly to try to go for the save. Yep, BKB, Manta still on cooldown. The double brutes, you see the Gleipnir coming in. He's able to cover. So much control. And yeah, Aegis Cheese, Refresher Shard.
Who's taking the Refresher Shard? Who do you want this on?
Usually it's the Phoenix, but let's see if he does opt to pass it to somebody
very
else.
Very close to hitting the level 18 as well. So the Supernovas have the potential to be huge.
And they have this ward up top too. Rezo, there's a Hex.
There's 9 again.
They've got the chain stun.
Finding the opening, in with the rebound as well. Toss back with the dispose. They take him down before the Hex comes to an end, and any opportunities there for Resolution to respond. He's out for 70. He does have buyback himself. Still at 10 seconds without Nisha. Tundra, they're straight down the mid. They take out the range racks, and they'll look to get the melee racks as well. Crystal is trying to force them away from him, but they don't care about him. In fact, they're just going to get aggressive on him, drag him back in. He has to put the BKB here. As the Phantasms continue to take down the melee ranks, the full set now in the mid, removed here by Tundra, and they're sticking around. 9 up towards the top of the Tempest double. They're trying their best to force out this buyback from Resolution. Another tier 3's gone. A second set of ranks exposed.
Look how fast it dies.
Are they going to be forced back at all? Fortifications pop. See Nisha on top of the Tempest double. It's soon to come to an end. Nisha's been caught with this other snowball. It's there. Dice able to bail the issue out. That initiation there from Tundra. Nisha wants the BKB. Looks towards Saxa, but Saxa wants the BKB. Turns towards Crystallis. Disposes there. Crystallis is down. No buyback for him. There's 100 seconds now without their Bristle. Rezo, his own BKB to come to an end. He has to back off. Nisha's also going to be so careful. They'll lose Puppy. 2 heroes dead, no buyback on them. Tundra, they take a full second set of barracks.
They're just so good at just resetting and poking, forcing BKBs, forcing mistakes, waiting for the perfect opportunity.
They're not going back anywhere.
No way, Snaking still has the Refresher Shard. They couldn't even touch the egg in that last fight.
I mean, we've seen with it, so the purchases from Crystallis, he did spend up. He would have had buyback back in 3 seconds, but he's 700 gold short of it.
It's all gone. I mean, the way they kill those buildings is way too fast.
I mean, the terrifying thing as well is indeed, yeah, Skida still with that Aegis, Snaking still with the Refresher Shard. There's no reason, no need for Tundra to back off. They're looking to close this game 2 out. As the tier 4s fall, Secret, they'll look to smoke up. One final attempt to stop this push from Tundra, but the Ancient's falling so far. Looks to jump in. Skida will drag back Resolution. Resolution trying to get the heal off with the Bloodstone. They'll keep him alive. The hand of God from Puppy will protect him for now. But the Ancient's still dying here to the familiar Secret. They're trying to push them back, but it's not going to be possible. GG is going to be called.
Wow.
As game 2 also going to Tundra, who now lead the series 2-0 against Team Secret.
I mean, I feel like the whole game kind of flips the script, everything looking kind of even. 9 gets this Hex, immediately the game just becomes fully in their favor. A couple pickoffs here and there, the way they can poke and prod, force BKBs, reinitiate, re-go. Beautiful to watch. Tundra just continue to be on another level in these team fights.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, in regards from game 1 to game 2, definite sort of improvements overall from Secret, but still, just the way that Tundra are able to shut these games down, and even to the point as well, with their draft, we knew that the win was going to come in a bit of a different fashion regardless from what they did in game 1. you know, the fact at the end of the day is that 9 on the Arc Warden.
What a beast.
8-0-9 Secret. They were just never able to catch him, Fog.
No, he kept the distance. He was like the initiator half the time, too. It felt like he did it pretty much everything for this team. Catching the split push, etc. Remarkable game from Tundra.
Well, as we said, a bit of an improvement maybe from game 1 to game 2, but it really feels like Secret, they've got to step it up so much more to have any sort of chance of stopping Tundra in their tracks, as Tundra now leading the series 2-0, just 1 win away from taking the championship.
Thank you very much, OD, Pixel and Fogged. Welcome back to our panel. And it doesn't seem to matter what lineup they play. They put on an absolutely clinical game of Dota. One mistake and then it's just, thank you very much, it's our map. I'm joined by Tika, Blizzard and Sheep. I'm just amazed with Tundra right now. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It looks so dominating. You know, it's like, is it a grand finals?
I feel like they just keep on pulling heroes out of the bag, right? Like even this Arc Warden, and it's not like they're picking heroes that they're constantly playing, but they make it look like they have so much practice on them. Meanwhile, Secret, at the same time, I think Tundra is in their head again. Like you can't play against an Arc Warden and let it be all alone on the bottom lane for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Yep.
Just using that double Midas off cooldown.
Yeah, and this was the big turning point in this highlight here. Secret, after quite a dominating early game, moving from tower to tower, they just kind of fall victim to that kind of choke point fight. And unfortunately, even if you are taking some of these earlier towers, feeling that you're taking the map away from Tundra, like Lizard just mentioned, you're not stopping the Arc from farming. So at some point, you are going to hit that boiling point where Tundra hits a team timing and then gets to set the pace of the game themselves.
How many ways they have to initiate, Shipo?
I mean, they kept gaining ways to initiate throughout the game. That was like what I found the most impressive. When they finished this Gleipnir and stuff, they're starting with that and going into the Marcy Dispose. You know, before that they're using Marcy. Later they get the Hex. They're creating their own ways of initiation. They're sitting with 4 heroes in the trees waiting for Resolution the Strike to just come up the lane and then pick him off like that. They are bleeding Secret dry.
And again, they're just getting multiple ways of gaining info, gaining vision. Like before you had, I don't know, a Brood Mother Naga. Now you have this Arc Warden just spamming spirits everywhere. You have Visage as well. And speaking of Visage, it wasn't only 33 Visage, it was a Visage with a Marcy. Now you have a sidekick on those birds. The objectives are just melting.
Yeah, just the fact that you have as well, like 33 in lane, it's a Visage killing the Bristleback. Like this lane, you're not meant to win it. When you pick Bristleback, you're meant to beat the Visage in lane. So Tundra already just excelling inside that laning phase and just kind of catapulting themselves to kind of weather the storm. And maybe if that Visage lane didn't go so well for Tundra, you could argue that the Bristle will be a little bit bigger. The pace Secret could set could be a little bit better. But the fact that you win that lane, it stalls it out a little bit longer. So Tundra then eventually, like we already mentioned, hit this beautiful team timing where they just punish Secret once again in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, Chrysalis still had a decentish timing. They stacked the Ancients hard.
Yeah. And of course, yeah, Skidder here, the carry for Tundra. He's just had not only a great performance, but a great team enabling him. And I don't think he's put a foot wrong, really. He's always known what he needs to do, his objectives, and of course, his team fighting skills are, on par with that as well.
The itemization, once again, right? Like you have this Chaos Knight who's building into a very early Mage Slayer. He's mitigating the damage that Lashrak is dishing out, and overall just being a true team player, just being up front, helping the Visage, and the Arc Warden do the majority of the work.
Again, just look at the stats that you see here, right? Like this is his first TI. He's hitting firsts in multiple categories. Like he is unnerved. He has unlocked his ability just to enable himself, enable the team. Again, we've had so many interviews where they just feel like everything's clicking, everything's right. And again, we're going into a game 3 where it feels like Secret just has nothing to answer yet to Tundra's playstyle.
But in defense of Secret, this was a better performance than game 1.
Yes, they adapted a lot. So from game 1 to game 2, you can clearly see how the cogs were turning with Heen and Puppy's mentality on how to approach Tundra. They needed to take towers early. They wanted to take away the map. Don't allow that fortified style of Tundra to set into play. Unfortunately, that didn't then lead to them dominating the map, them holding an aggressive position, because they faltered a little and Tundra then kind of sneaked their way through into the map and played again. So I think if you're going at Secrets looking at this again, game 3, we need to do what we did in game 2, but better. We need to execute faster, quicker, take away the map. Don't let them even get that up.
Sheep, do you snatch, do you ban the lash? Do you leave it in the pool? Do you pick it? You just lost twice with it. You lost on mid, you lost on offlane.
Yeah, I don't know if they need to ban it because I don't think Tundra are interested in taking it. Yeah, like it feels like they have a very solid idea against the Leshrac. I also feel like their way of drafting versus the style is not working either because they've tried this like Magnus strat with Ember, like ways to clear all these illusions and stuff, and it's not working. They've tried Bristleback and Leshrac, also here is typically thought to be good against these illusions. It's not working. I feel like at this point your draft needs to go more in the direction of taking your own map control, you know, fighting back against Tundra, because they are just able to play the map too well. You have to break that. That has to be the goal of your draft.
And this is something you mentioned, Liz, the Arc Warden sat on the Tundra's off lane for 5 minutes, but Secret didn't want to engage. They were not interested in going down making moves there. Instead, though, they did have the Dire jungle, and they did pick up a few kills. Do you think it was too passive to play around the jungle and not take on the Arc Warden, who was played by Nine?
Yeah, I feel like it's easy to be complacent when you're playing a draft such as Secrets. You have this Morphling. He is going to be the ultra carry late game. The problem is you're playing versus an Arc Warden. You won't get to the late game if you let him roam and do whatever he wants in the first 15 minutes. He just gets too big, too fast, and gets that hex fast enough. You've seen what happens.
Well, we have to see what Secret are going to do for Game 3. But right now, I think we need to hear a little bit from Tundra, because before the Grand Finals, they sat down with Avo.
Welcome, Tundra Esports, to the Grand Finals round table. What is a peak Tundra game? What game do you guys think expresses your playstyle the most?
I can say that to me it's not about the heroes. Like for me, like the peak Tundra, in my words, would be controlled chaos. I think that's how we describe us.
Wow. Very cool. Is it a close relationship between you guys?
I think it's very important to be close to one another, to be able to function as a team. And I think right now, like, I really enjoy spending time with all of the guys. I think it's also partly the reason why we are playing well as a team, I think.
It's your first TI, Skitter. First time you get to play in front of such a big crowd at a TI.
Correct.
Well, how does it feel?
I mean, it feels great. It's all I ever dreamed it to be. And, you know, I always wanted this to be a reality, so I'm just happy to live it.
You've had your experience at TI, particularly that second place with DC. In that tournament, you came in as the underdogs, right, into TI, or at least maybe not one of the favorites. Do you feel like that this tournament?
I would say so. Like, I feel like after the results in like Saudi and the Arlington Major, like we kind of had some pretty bad results, so people weren't like looking at us as like one of the contenders, which I think, like in hindsight, it was a very good thing to us. Even after we lost, we kind of said like, no, it's good. Now we can go in as the underdogs, you know.
How do you guys feel about snaking as a captain?
He's always trying his hardest, and I think he's been doing a really great job. Like, he's always managed to stay positive, even through kind of our rough times.
And I feel like he's done a great job. I feel like sometimes as a captain, people fall into these traps where they kind of like, they had like maybe a bit too much of an ego and they believe in their ideas too much and they don't try to empower the teammates. But I feel like Sneh has done a good job of balancing this out, like empowering the teammates' ideas and also like believing in his and trying to make them work. So I feel like he's exceeded my expectations for sure.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think he's very great at enabling players and their ideas.
We don't need like a strong leader in terms of someone that makes all the decisions. I'm really happy that we kind of have a captain in him, but he still listens to everyone. We still make decisions together and everything.
You guys seem to all have your own ideas of Dota, and you get to put them in your gameplay, right?
Yeah, everyone has like, especially when it comes to the different lanes, I'm happy that everyone gets to play the lane they want to, how they want to, you know. I know that whatever I want to play on mid lane, Sneh is gonna support me.
I'm curious about that. When you first described your idea of the mid lane to them, how was the conversation?
I think it started with Winter Wyvern. And I was just playing the hero in a pub, and I got pushed into playing it in scrims, basically. It's not like I was saying from the beginning that, oh, I want to play this hero, it's so broken in pubs. I started being more open to the idea of playing different heroes, and every time like I started winning with things, people saw it and supported me and pushed me as well. I think everyone is very open to trying new things in this team.
How are the feelings towards finals?
I try not to think too much about it because I think the more you think about it, the more you'll overthink things, and you should just treat it as another game you're playing. It's not a big deal. Obviously, there's going to be a big crowd. You just have to mentally prepare yourself for that in advance, so then you're not overwhelmed by it by the time that the crowd is there.
I'm excited, honestly, which is a very good thing because I'm rarely excited.
I was very much like emotionally neutral, so I just want to go in these games, like play my game and just have fun and like show some good Dota to the viewers. So.
How does it feel to play in front of a big crowd at TI? Is it different than when you play like in the majors or anything like that?
For now, it has been easier than all the other crowds I've played in front of. I really feel like all the things come together this TI. Like so many moments, so many losses in the past year that taught me specific things. I use them now to win.
I'm just excited that I've been playing this game for like 15 years now, or Dota 1 and Dota 2 combined, and I finally get the opportunity to play on this arena and get the grand finals. It's been a dream of mine for many years, and I'm just happy and grateful that I was able to accomplish it.
Like, yes, this is kind of going to be the biggest game of my life, but I think something we've been working about with our psychologists to kind of try and lower the stress is that all our hard work has already been done. Like now, all we have to do is just go and play. So what I would like to do is just try not to think about it too much, pretend this is just a regular game and just go and play.
It was always my goal to come to TI and to win it. And since I've made it to the finals, I'm very happy for myself and for my teammates that I managed to do it. And now, you know, it's the final step. I'm ready to take it.
It's been like very long and very stressful road in some ways, and yeah, you even have this feeling of being burnt out a bit. But now it's finally here. I'm just super happy, and it's like the only thing left to do is just play.
So there we have it. Tundra sitting down with Avo, and I just got to congratulate whoever the psychologist is. Either you've just worked magic and they're doing meditation, or you've got them all on meds, because they are the most chill team. That's a grand final, pre-grand final sit-down interview. They were so calm. They're here and they just want to take it. And they might 3-0.
I feel like they could just win like 4 TIs in a row right now. Like, if they keep like, I mean, like right now, like if they play tomorrow another grand finals and then another one and another one, like the fact that they're all 5 just in the same mindset, answering in the same tone of voice, like they're just. Oh,
a unit.
That is scary. Like they are one.
I did like the fact though they did ask everybody what's snaking like as a captain as he sat on the end of the table.
How did he bribe them? Like
he's just going,
He's just sitting there and listening as they praise him for like 10 minutes.
But they should. I mean, they made it to the grand finals, and you know he's very chill. And 15 years of Dota, from Dota 1 to Dota 2, and we can take a look here at some of the win rates versus Puppey, and there is snaking.
He's positive.
Exactly. This is the most important thing. So the other day I was looking at snaking win rate versus Puppey, and I saw Noxel starting to tweet about it. So I went onto that Dota, looked a bit deeper, and yeah, it's basically there's only 4 players who ever got a 50% win rate positive against Puppey. Only 4 players. Everyone else is sub 50%. So snaking today with his victory, yesterday, bumped him up to over 50, drawing with RK. Now he's winning the 2 games currently. He's now 51.8. If he wins the next game in this grand finals, he'll then leapfrog Bulldog and be 2nd place. Again, it is insane.
But with what number?
With a 52.6% win rate.
Oh, I love it when you talk numbers.
There we go. Oh, you like that? But yeah, everyone, all the Tundra fans, they love snaking right now because he clearly is the secret source, maybe, for understanding that Puppey mentality.
When's the last time you've been to NA? Tell the truth.
Last time?
Tell the truth. What's this NA copium over here?
They're literally like insane. Like again, to be clear, Secret, they have to do some mad work in this interim. They need to properly break down Tundra, understand everything that's happened in TI in a single 15-minute break, because Tundra is looking flawless.
I don't know how you're meant to do it in time. I actually genuinely, they've tried like 3-4 different strats and this was meant to be their idea. We're bringing in the Chen. We need something to take objectives. We need towers. They took that Roshan 14 minutes. Like they were doing everything right, and they still crumbled. Their strats were just not up to par with Tundra.
And it's not just the heroes, right? Like if you look at the players, it's in the first 2 games, they literally switched up the roles. Like you had Crystallis playing a carry, then he was literally the offlane Bristleback. It wasn't some Midas Aghanim's rushing Bristleback. No, that was Vanguard BKB. He's just going to stand in front. Nisha was the Leshrac, the mid laner, the classic playmaker. Then he was the Morphling, the ultimate win condition. They're switching everything up, and nothing seemingly works.
If they have to focus on one particular thing to improve, you know, draft, map control, team fight, you know, in terms of draft for the team fight, because they can obviously team fight, but they just seem to be just outmastered a little bit. But what's the one thing that you would want Secret to kind of really have a conversation about in those 15 minutes between game 2 and where we're going in game 3?
Would you like to take it?
I think you just reset it, right?
Oh,
okay. But you've got to change something. You need a reset, but it's...
I mean, maybe it is just draft. Like, I've seen a lot of success on the Rezo, Chrysalis, Dawnbreaker. Like, that's not getting banned in first phase. Maybe that's something to explore as a strat. It's something that lets them fight globally and often, like, it covers a lot of your heroes. This heal might let them turn the fights around.
I'd lean more on conviction. When you take an area of the map, they want to be able to play there. Don't allow Tundra to be able to sneak back out and then start skipping the waves that way. So if you have this early aggression, make sure you have extra catch to get there.
Well, we'll see, because they're tying for Team Strat, talking over. Puppy with Team Secret will re-enter the arena. If they are to take this, it needs to be a reverse sweep. Sitting with a 2-0 lead, Tundra, calm, cool and collected. They are smart, but Snake King said in his interview, do not overthink it. Don't try and get too smart, and that's exactly what they've done. They've just been able to play their game, and it's Team Secret that need to break it. This could be a 3-0. Tundra scary right now, and it's, even though it might not be the, you know, if it was a 3-0, it's like, sure, as a fan for either of the teams, you want, you know, an absolute, you know, amazing game of Dota with all the back and forths, but really, if Tundra can take this 3-0, it's still so impressive.
Now, let's be real. We want more games, right? We want more games than just the 3-0. But if you're Secret as well, you just need to focus on yourself. Like, you can't let Tundra get into your head like in the last best of 3. Focus on your drafts. Focus on what made you get this far. Because nothing works against Tundra if you're focusing on their heroes and banning them out.
This is one of those grand finals where if Tundra win at 3-0, it's like the celebration, like the pro enthusiasts will be like, they just played such beautiful Dota. And this will now be like, how do we want to play Dota? The whole shift of DPC season will be, we'll look at Tundra. How do they skip waves? How do they always have the same element in every draft, even though heroes are different?
Is there something you'd ban out, Sheep? Like, is there a big element of Tundra that needs to go?
I don't know, there's too many heroes to ban for them. When I looked at last game, I think the biggest crack that I saw in their gameplay was when they were repelled from Secret's base and they were suddenly on the back foot of, we have to get out of here. And I think Secret took advantage of that really well for a short time. They were chasing them down lanes, they were getting pickoffs, they were forcing them to use their ults, and they kind of fell apart for a moment. Like, they didn't reset properly. Their resetting was usually really good, but when they kind of had to engage in the map, it felt like they were just kind of getting picked off, like on their visage top. Stuff like that, if they can just apply more pressure from the side of Secret, like maybe Morphling is too slow of a hero, maybe they do need to just go all in on that hard tempo, all 5 heroes, go, go, go.
Full divide Dota.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how LGD started getting taken down at Arlington, for example.
Now, how dangerous are Tundra going to be with a 2-0 up? Because already their drafts are hard to ban out, but now they have options. They've got games in the bag to kind of, I'm sure they don't want to throw one. You're shaking your finger at me, T-Gav.
No. You watch that interview, they are one. You know, they say draft, there's no need to change. We are winning. We shall win. We shall pick the same heroes. We have exactly. We have the second lowest hero pool in all of TI. We just continue winning. Like, we don't need to change.
Imagine Aoi, right, staring at you with an expressionless face. He shrugs his shoulder. Why change it? Of course.
When they can communicate, you know, telepathically, that's when it will get scary, but it almost seems like it at this point. But can Team Secret bring it back? That's what I want to know.
I completely agree with what Sheepo said.
Focus on their draft, not the enemy.
Focus on their draft and their gameplay. If they could be a little bit more aggressive, if they could be a tiny little bit faster like they were once they defended their base, it looked like they had that game back in their control. But then a couple of mistakes here and there, they just need to be more focused. I know it sounds like such a generic thing to say, but the moment they got the game back, they fed a couple of kills, unnecessarily kills on the side lanes.
Yeah, and on top of that, have something that can kill Wraith Pact. A hero that can just get in there and kill Wraith Pact, that's like one of the biggest problems. They're playing with so much damage reduction on the side of Tundra. If you're able to deal with that and their map control and like how they do it, those are just the 2 biggest things, I think.
So who are those heroes? We look at Snapfire or?
Snapfire is a little difficult because she has to really like walk in there, but yeah.
We'll see what they do. Well, we're ready here, and I hope you are at home because we're going to go into Game 3 of the Grand Finals of the International.
Team Secret versus Tundra Esports. Grand Finals Game 3.
Tundra Esports, turn to ban.
Thank you very much, James, and yes, welcome back, ladies ladies and gentlemen, we're just about ready to get this Game 3 underway. So far, Tundra leading the way 2-0 against Team Secret in this grand finals. Once again, Seb, Notel, and Fox here with me for the draft. I mean, boys, 2 games now where Tundra, they've looked scary. We saw in the second game, Secret maybe trying to break successfully into sort of this sort of impenetrable force that Tundra hold the game hostage with, but it still wasn't enough. Can you see them taking it to the next level, or are you concerned for them now going into this Game 3?
I don't know, there's very few names I could find, you know, around the world to pick, like to break Tundra, but Poppy would be one of them, right? I mean, Poppy, Heen, they have so much experience. Of course they can, of course they can. I want to believe they can, you know, I want more games, and yeah, of course they can.
I want to believe too. The copium tank is pretty low right now. It's running very low. I think Orange player was feeling it last game. I really think for Secret they need to commit. They need to push it to the limit. You know, I think Nisha was having an incredible game. I don't think they missed a few moments last game that could have turned into. They could have made the game look a lot more doable for them, but you also see the power of Tundra. Like, they have some ideas. They seem to be on top of their heroes, like the combinations, the Arc Warden with the Visage too. We haven't seen this before. Yeah, and now we're at least seeing Secret get their Marcy hero, so I don't know. I mean, I'm starting to have a hard time believing that Tundra can be broken.
I mean, there's one thing maybe we haven't seen as much in this grand finals from Secret is like full-on lane dominance.
Yes.
You know, Marcy could kind of draw the, like lead the direction, lead the back into crushing 3 lanes, and maybe Tundra just doesn't come online. You know, we've seen Neta like 33 play Brood against Secret in the upper bracket finals, and that's probably one of the worst Brood start he ever had in the in the entire tournament, and that's what Secret did to him. And yeah, they can do that, so it could be one route.
That was with Monkey though, and Monkey has been banned in every game.
True.
Yeah.
They are setting up for it.
This Bristleback also, I mean, I don't know, it's like Tundra knows their heroes so well, and I feel like they had counterpicked the lane in last game, and yet it didn't work.
But you know, I feel like they banned the Monkey maybe to threaten the Brood, but Secret still let the Brood in, and they decided to ban the Tusk instead. So I think now it's like, Tundra, do you still dare to Brood? Like, you want to test our ability to counter Brood once again? And Tundra is like, no, let's keep it open, and let's decide a little bit later what 33 is going to be playing.
Yeah, he has options, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're just going to save him for later on. He'll have a bunch of cool options. And you're going to be forced now, when you see this, they're going to have to ban the Naga Siren. They're still going to have to take the same initiative that did the last time. They're still going to stick with the Lesh.
I mean, I don't think it's wrong for them to stick with the Lesh. I think Lesh had tons of openings in both games. Resolution was playing it really well, and it opened up this Morph pick, but they were second pick. I mean, I think this game's gonna be really hard also because it's drafting order. Like, it's extra tough for Secret to figure out what they want to do, because they can't keep it open till the end. They might go back for the Dawnbreaker. I mean, we haven't seen them. It's been ignored the whole series so far. But I also think rightfully so. But I don't know what Secret are going to do with first pick here, like for the next phase. And yeah, we have to really look at the bans, and they have to coerce them again into something that is going to lead into good things for them.
Yeah.
Meta is having a field day right now, you know? Like, the Brood is still in, Tide is getting banned. I think, Secret need to pull out some aces.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to keep track of, but to be fair, probably their best bet is to build on what they want to do and only counter what's going to get in the way. So if they believe that this Naga is going to stop what they want to do, then sure, ban it, else you might as well play against it. Yeah. Obviously, it is scary to play against Tundra's best heroes, but at this point, it feels like all they have is best heroes.
Yes.
So you might as well.
Yep. It's the Visage,
always a
Naga.
substitute, right? Like, as we saw, we saw a lot of times a bunch of different heroes for 9, but then, I mean, we were all sitting there and we're like, wow, this magnetic field, this Arc Warden just buffing everyone up, making them like immune to damage. It's something you pulled out of left field.
That was nasty.
I mean, I wonder if the statistics, I mean, there are probably some stats for the damage reduction that teams have pulled off, like between Wraith Pact and Anchor Smash with
the pipes.
And with the pipes and stuff. And I feel like they must now be up there, right? Especially with the Arc Shard. That's something new.
Mage Slayer as well too, right? Like, it seems like they always just have layers and layers and layers of it, which, I mean, you guys are very familiar with, of course.
Yeah, I love myself some damage reduction. Spectre, nice.
Yeah.
Good times.
Stampede.
IO.
I mean, we'll see. I think Secret is debating whether or not they want to target the Naga. They're probably, because theoretically you could consider that, you've got yourself a Lesh track against the Naga or Lesh track against the Slark, which are the very popular skitty heroes. Yeah. Maybe Nakes should take higher priority, for instance, if you just look at matchup to matchup.
Yeah.
But it's, you're one game down, like one game away from getting eliminated, as in like losing the grand finals, and you give them the hero they've been dominating with. It's a hard call.
Oh my God, they banned a Brewmaster.
Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting too.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel very scared of the Naga. That's me. Like, I would not choose to play against it, but like Seb is saying, what are you going to choose to play against? They beat the Visage before, and it honestly looked very doable last game too. Like, they had moments in this game, even though they missed, I think, a few opportunities. It does seem like... I don't really know. There's Broodmother too. Oh boy.
It's just, yeah,
now,
so many options.
So they banned the Conquer out, and I think that they're really threatening, you know, the Brood second phase with the Conquer ban as well.
Yep. I would really want to see Secret address the Mirana, like address the Moonlight Shadow, because I think it's actually what makes these heroes really scary, because they really get to disengage. Like, this Tiny is gonna throw his spells and not get punished for it. Same with the Naga in the other game and the 9 heroes. Like, I would want this hero to kind of, if they get too close to the action, to die. You know.
What about Zeus?
Yeah,
Zeus for
these kind of heroes, like
Zeus Slash might be a lot of the same thing, but I wonder, like, you play against Mirana Naga.
Yeah, I think like very reliable lockdown. I don't know if it's Disruptor Glimpse, if it's Zeus, you know, ulti. They need to find a way to stop Tundra from, you know, poking, kind of, you know, slowly, kind of, you know, beating them down, like kind of agony, the slow agony of in and out heroes that are using the Moonlight Shadow,
Just
like
long range,
that.
disengage all the time.
A lot of those heroes are left in the pool. The Lifestealer we've seen that's countered the Last Strike a couple times that we haven't seen Tundra go for too much, but it's been banned a lot of times. The Naga Siren's still in, so what's their option? I mean, they get their Pango instead.
They go for the Pangolier.
Leaving things open for their last 2 picks, right?
Yep.
Now they have 33 as the pick of the litter, 9 Skeeter does as well.
Same drafting scenario as game 1 on their second pick. You know, they pick the Saxa, the Snake King, and the 9 kind of trio, because these guys actually play as a trio. They play a lot in the Fog of War. As we said, you know, they feed on Skitters and 33's map pressure. So this is what they want to play with. You know, this is what they want to counter the Lesh early game tempo with, and now they're just going to decide how to set their silence up for success.
And this next pick for Tundra is so scary. I mean, for Secret to pick, they maybe still want to address the Brood, right? Because, I mean, sure, Pangolier could be Neta hero, could be the 9 hero. Now,
Crystallis actually has played a lot of Marcy position 1. I don't know if he's done it officially, but in pubs he's been playing it a lot. So I think that's also an option. And maybe that's a hero that he feels like will counter Neta's pull no matter what.
But isn't it really hard now? Like, you're also afraid of the, I mean, Visage, Brood. I'm just thinking Neta heroes, and now you pick the Silencer, like,
I feel like
seen it before.
if it's a +1 Marcy, I feel like it works. And to be honest, I like the global, like, I really like the Silencer Dawn route against Tundra.
Oh, here we go. Let's
okay,
go.
take it away.
Nice.
So now the Brew ban makes sense, right?
Yeah.
At least in a way.
Makes a lot more sense. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, they're taking it from Tundra. That is a...
I think it's a good approach.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
I think it's a very good approach. Also for the Mirana, we're talking about the Moonlight Shadow, we're talking about this long range. I think...
I like the pick, but the only thing that scares me is you're now in the most important game, like the hardest game to play, and you're picking something you haven't touched yourself against a team that's probably the smartest at playing with it, so perhaps also playing against it. So, you know, it's like, you have to execute it. Theory-wise, I like it, but...
But what they picked before didn't work, right? So isn't it... Sure. In a way, really good to switch it up?
Yes, it is. It is.
Even though, I mean, yeah, back against the wall, it won't get harder for Secret than this. 2-0 in TI finals?
Surely. Now I wonder, is this a Naga +1 or could it be flexible? That is what I don't know, because obviously we have not seen Secret use Naga as much.
Does Sayak play +4 Naga?
I haven't seen any of it.
They haven't played it.
They haven't
played it at all.
Yeah. So it's really hard to guess what they're going to do with it. This Marcy could be core or support, so that's the next, basically. Okay. That's the 33 hero. It's a beast into Naga, which is interesting, but he does like the axe build a lot.
Yeah. No, but I've seen it. It makes Naga suffer a lot on the lane. Like, you think these illusions normally versus Beast, but Beastmaster has skill points you can put in different things, and it turns out that you can actually get a really good lane versus illusions. Like, 1 Avalanche plus the Beast, if you catch him summoning it, then you're left with, just a naked Naga who only has Riptide.
Yeah.
Everyone has massive wave clear. It's like the typical Tundra. Every single person can push from the fog, clear creep wave almost instantly as well, too.
But Crystallis has played this in the past. I've seen him play it in the past in pubs, and, you know, I think it's a fantastic hero versus Tundra.
I see it. I mean, Tundra for sure is going to hate the lane pressure kind of against them. They really want to, and also they do have...
For a Nisha mid hero, they're banning for a resolution off-lane hero. I mean, I'm assuming that they're assuming Naga is one.
I think the off-lane heroes are more problematic than the mid heroes.
Because it could be Sayak hero coming up too, and resolution playing the
Marcy.
The Marcy also.
or it could be a Naga 3 or 4, which is maybe a little bit more crazy.
I wouldn't assume it, but of course.
Could be.
I mean, that's probably more likely. Now we see the troll ban too. We've seen Rezo play Marcy quite a lot in the qualifiers and stuff like that. He was playing it offlane a lot.
Yeah, they've been owning with the offlane
With
Marcy.
great success.
I wonder what his stat is, but I think it's very positive.
It's tricky. It's tricky. We'll see what Tundra is going to decide to respect, because they also have to be taking a guess here, and it's not an easy one. So whatever they're going to ban is going to obviously tell us where they're placing the Naga and where they're placing the Marcy, assumingly, or what they care the most about, if anything, because obviously they cannot know for sure what Secret is going to do.
Lots of hmms going on, I think.
There's a lot of pressure on these bans. There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Shaman.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so they're looking at Marcy core for Secret. So then in that case, most likely a Marcy +3
But I
and
also
a Naga
think
+1.
I think it's a very interesting read on the game, right? Like, why do they ban Rasta here? What does Rasta make? I think it makes sense with the Naga, right? It's like, it's a lot to do with the Naga, and what you're saying about like this hard lockdown, not letting heroes like kite around you. Shackle can be an incredible tool.
And right now they have very poor lockdown. Like, it's only Lesh stun and Marcy rebound, which is very unreliable.
Yes.
Right? This Hex could have helped a lot.
Yeah, and it's also one of the Sai classics. Okay, next ban. Yeah, I think they really want the Marcy to be core. Obviously, they could still flex it. I'm not sure what Resolution could be looking at. Other than that, Sayak has a bunch of heroes, right? Like, Sayak has a bunch of heroes. He has the Earth Spirit, which is a good lockdown. He has the Tusk is out.
Stage Shaker, Tusk is out.
Shaker.
They do ban the Clockwork. Looking, for some reason, I feel like we might be surprised by how Secret's gonna put the heroes, but maybe that's just
they
my
could
mind
pick
going
Nisha's
crazy.
hero here, right? If Nisha, what could Nisha be picking? I mean, we mentioned the Zeus. I don't know if it's that good here.
I'm stuck on this Marcy +1. I can't get over it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I mean, we'll see. This is exciting.
5 seconds remaining.
They're out of time, right? Is that reserve time?
They've got
I assume so. Okay, they've got a little bit more. 15 seconds to go. 15 seconds to decide. You know, probably your fate. A lot of pressure.
Misclick.
Ember Spirit. All right.
I mean, it's good for some reasons, right?
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan if we're doing +1 Naga with the Ember. I think there's a little bit of de-synergy, but there's also some synergy. It's just not all the way.
I mean, it's a very good Ember game.
But it's good, really good versus what they're playing against. Yeah.
Ember versus bottom, Tiny Pango, like, and even Roar. They're gonna have a really hard time catching this Ember. He has the backup of Global Silence. If he does end up catching a kind of a stun, he has the backup of Sleep. This Ember can be the king of the game. You know, Nisha can pop off on this.
But do you still think that they're doing something weird with Marcy, or don't you just think it's gonna be?
I would assume it's a Marcy Leshrac. You know, Zac Marcy, Rezo Leshrac, Naga Silencer safe in an Ember mid.
Yeah.
Most likely.
I would say so too.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
But so we've seen 9. He likes to counterpick when he gets the chance to. I wonder if he's happy with this matchup, like the Pangolier. I mean, he has to be the Pango, right? It has to be Skitter hero. Never mind. Medusa.
Right. We have not seen that hero.
We haven't seen that hero, right?
I think that's a first Usa.
Wow.
I mean, that's a Skitter hero. We've seen him play it a lot in the past. Yeah.
Okay, Medusa.
Stylus is on the Naga, yeah. No funny business here.
Do they have enough damage to take down a Medusa is what I'm thinking, you know?
When Tundra starts grouping up and forcing...
It's not easy for these heroes to take down Medusa, because, you know, Lesh and Ember
Lesh, yeah.
They might lack damage. Yeah. Probably that's what, Tundra is trying to abuse here.
And we saw one Naga earlier. I'm trying to remember who it was from RNG. He went for Diffusal on the Naga, and it could be interesting again this game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, so Tundra's plan is to get this Dusa to a point where you eventually can go tier 2, Roche, tier 3, and the group up is going to be really strong with the Beast, and the sieging is going to start happening, and that's Secret.
5 seconds
I kind of demise if it does happen. Whereas if Secret, they manage to stall the game out and start splitting, and you know, Medusa is also very punished by a map that gets spread out really like quite a bit, and he doesn't like running around. So
it's funny. It feels like both teams have swapped roles in terms of how they want to play the game, right? Secret wants to be dodging, and Tundra is going to try to hit critical mass, group up around the Dusa, the Beast, and just try to, you know, end it. So we'll see how it works out. Very interesting to see how the best Naga team plays against Naga. You know, doesn't get more interesting than that.
You have any copium left for Secret?
I do.
You do?
Of course I do.
Okay.
I want game 4.
Me too. I really want game 4.
Well, we'll see if we're going to be getting that here. I mean, overall as well, Fogged, you know, just sort of seeing Skeeter on this sort of hero. It's been, 2 games so far with Tundra. Each time, whether it's been Skeeter or 9, they've just had this core that Secret haven't really been able to touch. Do you feel that may be the case here again, or do you believe that Secret, they can make sure that neither of these two cores from Tundra get a free game?
Tundra are magical the way they make space, especially for Skeeter, and I see 4 heroes that are pretty damn good at it. So let's see. I mean, they're the ones who know how to play versus the Naga Siren, so let's see if they can actually be put up to that task.
I hope for a 5-game finals. I hope these players are in here and really enjoying the moment. You know, I hope we get some good Dota.
Absolutely. Sort of final words, Seb. You know, coming into this for Secret, we saw them able to sort of keep the positivity high at the end of game 1. Do you think they're going to be able to do it again at the end of game 2 going into this game 3?
There's a reason why Puppy was in the finals 10 years ago and why he's there again.
Well, let's see what's going to happen here. We'll pass over to Slacks now. It's going to be with Owie for some words before the game.
I am here with Owie 2000. Hello, sir. Potentially one more, my friend. Potentially one more. Are you guys feeling it in the booth?
Honestly, like, we had a talk, our emotions are pretty level right now. We worked a lot on not choking on land, so hopefully, you know, game 3 of TI finals.
Definitely a good time not to choke. So you guys, I saw a lot of comfort picks coming out here, you know, the Snaking Mirana, the Pangoliers. So is that kind of the strategy, to just get those feel-good heroes, or do you think they're especially good in this draft?
I mean, we sort of early picked those heroes, so they're just sort of heroes that we think are strong and fit in versus their first couple of heroes. But we also picked Dusa because Skitter opened the Crimson Witness on stage. So I was like, it's time to pick the Dusa. So
I think this might break it or make it for Dusa. She might get a nerf or a buff after this game. So which one are you hoping for?
For Dusa?
Yeah?
I feel like the hero's unpicked, unplayed, no? Like, I don't know if I've seen a Dusa this tournament, but I hope it works.
All right, well, we'll see if it works. Let's throw ahead and throw it to the casters for potentially the last game, game 3 of the grand finals.
The battle
Thank you very much, Slacks. Yes, we'll see indeed. Our Tundra able to get the 3-0 sweep, or a Secret able to stop them in their tracks. First of all, though, before we get into the action, we've got some words behind the scenes from Puppy during that last draft.
They are afraid of your monkey, Remco. Feel the power. He remembers last game. But don't worry, new game.
Oh, there we go there. Puppy trying to sort of build spirits coming into this game 3. As they need everything here, Secret, to try and be able to turn things around against Tundra. 2 games now where there's just been a point where it seems all over. Tundra has just been all over Secret, closing up the games as they wish. Here, this game 3, indeed, as we talked about during the draft, a bit of a different approach from both teams.
Much different.
Tundra absolutely trying something completely different there. You know, obviously, Owie mentioning that, you know, cosmetics were a bit of an influence in terms of why Skeeter's running the Medusa in this match. But regardless, you've got to imagine they still pick it because they feel that it's going to have its strengths here. Something that other teams have not been able to find in any of the games so far here, this international.
Yeah, they probably feel like it can get to the scaling point, but the laning phase could be incredibly difficult. This is a very oppressive lane that Secret does have down here. And Mirana, I mean, we've seen Snaking do fantastic work on it, but sometimes you just can't really protect these cores. There's a reason these Medusas and Clinks have not been picked too often. Their lanes can just get completely shut down. So let's see if Skeeter and Snaking are able to do it. Right away, we're seeing those immediate tangos. 4 or 5 of them are being passed off to Skeeter. He's going to have to bring more down because of the harassment that's coming out.
Of course, one thing that's going to be feeling good for Secret, seeing already some action from it here down bottom. Zayat's getting his hands on the Marcy this game. One of the stronger heroes from the tournament.
They don't have one of those heroes that really benefits the most off of the sidekick, though. Usually you do see, like, when Tundra does try to opt for it, they have like 2 or 3 heroes they can throw this sidekick onto. Not really many on Secret, where it's like, wow, amazing sidekick. Like, sure, the damage bonus on an Ember can be decent, but Naga Siren getting sidekicked up isn't really the best. So it's gonna be more of just this ganking Marcy in particular.
And do you feel a bit more comfortable overall with Secret's approach? You know, this game, Chrysalis, playing what you could only describe sort of as a more traditional carry, right? It's not this Pudge or Bristle that's going to look to be forced to get involved at an earlier time. He can look to sort of take the game a bit more on his shoulders as a harder carry as the Naga Siren in this game 3.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, like, he should be able to eventually definitely take over the map, and they do have those elements to be able to push and abuse those side lanes. It's very, like 702 was saying, it's like the script has shifted completely. It almost looks like a Tundra draft on the Secret side, except for the Silencer. So could definitely see Chrysalis perhaps get to that point, but let's see if he's able to with the pressure that comes out, because Tundra, as you said, super oppressive. But looks like Skeeter, he's having a little bit of a rougher one, as we've seen Snaking actually getting a lot of last hits in this lane 6, because Skeeter's being pushed off a lot from the aggressiveness.
I mean, that's, sort of something to be said there, at least snaking, making sure that not too much is getting missed from the both of them.
Yeah.
We'll see top. Puppey, just gonna look to chase out Satcher a little bit. Sax will be fine and into the trees. I mean, mid lane, this time round, having the Ember Spirit here for Nisha. I mean, what's sort of your thoughts on this hero? I mean, she picked later on in the draft. Is this a game where Ember Spirit's going to have the luxury of sort of darting around the team fights, or is there a few concerns for Nisha?
Definitely some limited disables on the side of Tundra. He could have a spectacular game. However, Ember at this tournament has been having some difficulties, of course, kind of committing into fights. You kind of just run out of steam at some point, it feels like, on this hero lately. So we'll see what he's going to be able to make of it. Top. Saxa
trying to trade with Puppey, but Chrysalis will step up, make sure that Saxa can't continue to stand his ground against the silencer.
Now we see the build, of course, from 33. It's Axe Max, but also just he started with the Sage's Mask straight into the Bassi, starting some Mangoes. It's typical approach from Tundra and just keeping the spam on. You see he's top CS.
And sort of a Secret, in terms of, obviously we talked about how Tundra can deal with the mid. Secret, for Secret, how well are they going to be able to deal with 9 when he hits this point where he's coming in with those early rotations, heading to the side lane with the Rolling Thunder? Can they deal with the Pango's aggression?
He could be big problems. I think we have to watch for these globals, if he's able to catch it, like in between these rolls and stuff like that, how much Puppey's going to be able to do to catch this with the combination of Nisha. They do have burst damage to be able to just kill this Pango in some situations, so.
Well, so far in the mid, Nisha. Decent bit of a lead here, 29-5 against the 21-2. Doing his best with a consistent slight spam here onto 9, keeping him low.
Both kind of doing the same thing to each other, keeping each other just at gankable levels. And it's a bit scarier, I would say, for the Pango. He actually has to go back to base because there's a Marcy. So whenever you're getting put low, you always have to expect this rotation to come in. So we do see 9 is forced back to base.
We did see Zayas, indeed, step over to that area, see if that opportunity was going to be had. Just say 9 plays it smart.
As soon as he goes missing bottom, even for a couple seconds, they do have to be very wary of it. Snaking. He's got the trade. He's got 2 in Starstorm, too.
It's true. Zayas does get too low. Dude snaking will look to jump in and burst through him.
Yeah, 1 or 2 more hits, and he would have probably been able to go for it.
And looking at the bottom lane, it also was a bit of a slower start in the first few waves. Looks like Skeeter's able to pretty much catch back up here to him the amount of fun that Rezo's getting out of this. 26 for 7, 23 for 6, and he's got this full wave coming in against him. I think Skeeter, despite the early pressure on him, have dealt very well with those first few waves, those first few lanes that they've had to match up against Secret down here.
They've been so good because of this Mirana, really. Like, Snaking's actually being able to bully and make sure that Skeeter's able to have a decent laning phase because these 2 points in Starstorm. He's able to trade with pretty much anybody. And here we see this rotation coming in.
He's already used the swashbuckle.
6.
And he has indeed hit the 6, and that'll mean 9. He's more than fine. In fact, trying to use that ult to set up a bit onto Nisha, but the Remnants are the ready. Nisha himself in the 6. 9's able to roll across, pick up that arcane rune. As Snaking and Saxa heading over to help. They're jumping with the rebound. Zayas goes down. They'll even be able to turn over towards Nisha as well. But 9 will die for that effort. Maybe feeling a bit stronger than he was there, charging forward with the backup of his 2 supports. But 9 ending up losing his life off the back of that aggressive play.
Nisha does incredible physical damage right now. The corrosion and the blaze of attack finished.
There's so much damage yet.
Maybe thought
3 points in slide.
Yeah, maybe thought he was going to be a little bit tankier, and immediately they rotate in Zayas, they fill up the bottle, so looking to play around Nisha as much as possible.
So yeah, Secret showing that they can bring their supports mid as well. Sure that Nisha continues to have that edge in this mid matchup. Only about a 600 gold difference, a lead here for the Ember Spirit. Nisha playing it well so far.
I mean, that tends up being the decision there. So Secret, they're going to be like, okay, no longer can we really pressure the Deuce early game. We're just going to look to buff up this Ember Spirit so he can be the one to kind of take over the map. Since Naga's now having her own free time, they're just going to be like, all right, Rezo, you're sacked for the moment. We'll deal with this Medusa later on. Still keeping the silencer even around the mid lane.
$33. Looks like he'll give sort of that top lane up into Saxa. 33 will start to clear a bit of the stacks. Prepared here in the triangle.
Yep, he's got his helm creep finished up too, so now he can look to actually pressure the lane. Once he's got this creep, he can go back up there.
Bottom lane, taking a bit of an effort onto Skeeter. Man, they're starting to get pretty low here.
The arrow.
Damage resides in Resolution. Snaking on target though. Holds back Rezo. Limits the ability for Secret to continue to chase down Skeeter, but I'm seeing heavy pressure now from these 2, and it's going to become even more. Secret, they're bringing in Nisha to make the aggressive play down here. Skeeter immediately out of the area, does not want to mess around when these sort of rotations come out from the mid.
The earlier ward that Snaking placed to watch the rotations of the Marcy, actually this time catches the Ember Spirit, making the rotation down, so Skeeter We've seen him, actually last game did the same thing. Got pushed out of lane relatively early. We'll go to jungle, and Snaking's gonna sit in the trees and sap.
And it's this timing again, really. So this 8 to 9 minute window where both games Secret, they have been allowed to get this early tier 1 tower. So once again, I'll get some good pressure on at the moment, Snaking. Same position as last game. Sapping the XP that he can. Over in Secret's up for the map though. Saxon's got a bit of a catch on to Crystalis.
He looks dead.
9, he's ready to jump in with the Rolling Thunder. That's Crystalis gone. So while Secret put the pressure on down bottom, Tundra make the most of that information to catch out Crystalis alone.
And so much pressure. As soon as the Dominator's finished up on the Beastmaster, he's shoving the lane in. They're looking to catch behind, and yeah, Saksa, he finds it. Even now gonna take away some of this jungle, take away the bounty rune as well. And look at Snaking. It looks like he's potentially maybe trying to drag a wave or something. Yeah, maybe try to grab that, but unable to because he's getting chased. Does mean that they're not going to get the bottom tower on the side of Secret, and top tower is going to drop to the side of Tundra. And Snaking just space making. Oh, unless Rezo reads him.
Nicely done there from Rezo. Zayat's able to jump in and throw Snaking back into the clutches of Resolution. They'll get themselves a kill out of that Secret.
Oh, beautiful play from Rezo.
I see Nisha. He's diving in sort of pretty deep into Tundra's half of the map. Trying to really keep Skeeter on his toes. Make sure this Medusa doesn't feel too safe to farm. Even this sort of deep area on their half.
He's not really at risk of too much. Like, they have to bring so many heroes to kind of punish this Ember Spirit, so I really like the play from Nisha. He's just keeping this Medusa low, keeping him scared, because if a +1 hero comes in, it's a free kill every time. And now, with this, potentially able to take this bottom tower point, put into Edict, so we'll be able to match that move from Tundra up top. 2-2.
10 minutes in. Similar to sort of the close start that we were getting at least out of the game 2 of this grand finals. Secret very much having their own strengths. Overall though, see top of the board there, 33. He's making the money on this Beastmaster.
We've seen this from him a lot on his Beastmaster, especially being top net worth when it was very popular. He was playing it so much. And we'll see now if there's going to be a play from Secret to look to invade the Ancient area, because that's kind of like the Medusa specialty, is farming these Ancients. In the past, most games with Tundra, they actually don't do this for Skeeter because he's usually playing with these illusion heroes. So let's see if they are going to look to punish him.
And sort of in comparison to the drafts that we have from Tundra in Game 1 and Game 2, would you sort of consider this Game 3-1 a little bit more vulnerable in these sort of early stages? Like Secret have a bit more of a chance of shutting them down early?
Yeah, absolutely. Medusa just takes some time before she wants to show up at all. So it does feel like they can look to be playing pretty aggressive, just have to really avoid 9 in particular. I mean, he's the big playmaker. If they can kind of move away from the Pangolier.
Let's see if he seizes the opportunity to go for Saxa. Sentry down though for Saxa now. He knows that Nisha's watching him.
Tough grab though. And 9 is still, I mean, really lingering in the back line.
Still wants to maybe do something.
He's got quite the flank.
He's a bit low on the mana as well. Went up too much to throw out here. There's the opening for 9. In with the Rolling Thunder. They'll pop the global.
The creep takes the arrow.
And he won't quite connect, and now Rezo tries to turn, but the global comes to an end. Saxa turns for the combo. Avalanche toss to take him down. Resolution falls, but
he's fighting.
The backup of Nisha. Secret, they'll be able to take something in return.
Oh, no way.
He's out with the sword, but he goes for the TP. But Nisha will be able to dive in with the Remnant, pick up a couple, maybe more. Chains are up, he has enough mana to stop the TP from Saxa. Puppy's here as well. They'll chase out the Tiny, surround him in the trees. It's a triple kill for Nisha.
What a play. Skills up the Searing Chains after he gets the kills, immediately has enough mana to do it too. Beautifully done.
This is exactly what Secret need to be seeing from Nisha. They have to have him just step up to the next level, something that he has done before in some of the series here during the playoffs of TI. They need Nisha to be on top form and have a chance against Tundra.
And you see why they put so much emphasis on him in the mid lane. Fill up his bottle, do everything you can to make sure Nisha has this game so he can make that space for this Naga Siren, who now, Crystalis free in the jungle, and they have a regen rune sitting bottom, so Zayat's, he's camping it for Nisha so he can keep his impact on the map. All about this Ember Spirit for Secret.
Skeeter feeling confident enough to step up in the mid. Secret, they'll definitely jump on this. They'll get in with the opening. They've taken out his mana. The damage has been done. A risky position for Skeeter to find himself in. Secret, they don't hold back at all at making that jump. They know that Medusa is in a completely dangerous spot, and it hurts. That's Skeeter out of the game for 20 seconds. Secret, they managed to put some pressure on the mid, and of course this is just continued gold and XP being fueled and funneled into this Ember Spirit.
Stone has the regen running, so he's full HP, full mana for this push. They can still have to fight if anyone does come in. And Tundra, Doesn't feel like they do want to fight here. It's dropping too fast.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Big moves.
I'll have to let
Secret.
this one go.
And tons of space.
Radiant's middle
Crystal is now
tower
able
has
to rotate down toward bottom.
I mean, 9. He's sort of keeping his eyes on Chrysalis, but of course, this area out on his own. He's not able to sort of make any sort of move or aggressive play. At least not until he has the Diffusal Blade done. When that's there, he might be able to look for some solo action.
I was looking to see if we would see that build queued up also for Chrysalis, because I believe Nota was mentioning, I think it was Hector who did it actually in one of the games as Naga when he was playing, and he went with Diffusal Blade, and it was very strong. So if he can opt to do that, if they even want to. The thing is though, do they even want to though? Because like the Medusa, maybe they don't feel like they even need it.
I mean,
how little this hero's been played.
You might sort of see the argument for just getting that Scardy
play normal
as soon as you can. Of course, Scardy's going to have incredible benefits for limiting the Medusa in these fights.
Secret this time around, really finding their footing. Now for Tundra, playing around 33 is probably the best option. Helm of Overlord is finished, so it is a big problem for Secret.
Resolution's pretty vulnerable. As 33 opens up with a raw, easy kill there for Tundra.
That's the big hero that they do have to watch out for. And yeah, snaking with these Moonlight Shadows, this has kind of been one of the biggest things that Tundra's been able to play around.
Yeah, you got to watch out for this Ember Spirit next fight. He's got his Maelstrom done and a DD in the bottle.
Oh boy.
You don't want to fight around this Ember unless you're guaranteed to have the lockdown. And of course, this is a point where Raw has been used. Nisha is going to be able to play with that timing in mind. Not too much that he has to threat when he turns up to these team fights.
And there's Global available too, so even if the chain stun comes out, like if Saksa finds an avalanche, they can probably counter it.
He's ready to go in chains, followed by the Global Silence. See the runner, snaking, try and get off to the side, but the slight's there. They take down both supports.
And they might even get the help. They will.
Extra 250 gold will be going the way of Resolution, so more money for him. That'll speed up the Bloodstone. It really is, you know, saw Nisha being able to step it up a bit more in game 2, but here in this game 3, his Ember Spirit so far so good here with these early plays. Aiming sort of on towards the level 12. Once he gets that item done after the Maelstrom, we'll see what it's going to be if he feels he needs to get the BKB, play some sort of into some sort of safety for the next item. But at the same time, as we say, with sort of lack of lockdown,
he might not need it.
He can just build up that damage, continue to play aggressive.
I think he probably wants to look to play as aggressive as possible. The space for Chrysalis is amazing right now. He's just having the time of his life on this Naga Siren 2K lead. And Secret, they're still clustered together. The lanes are all in a good position for them, so they can just keep looking to fight. Even though they don't have global, this Ember's king.
Another catch here from Nisha, he's in with a slight chain. Bring it off to the side, they're going to dispose back onto Saxa, but Science and Puppy just gets shredded by 33 and his Dinosaur. As Tundra, they're ready to see if they can catch more snakes. He's in with the arrow, quick up the slight chains. Nisha's just able to take him out amongst them on Tundra. They continue to get more. 9 rolls in, takes out Reza, who's got his eyes over towards Nisha. It's pretty deep here. Up towards the tier 2, they'll continue to try and chase him, chains back up. Well, Nisha is starting to sort of dig there, a bit risky. He's going to get caught with it.
Oh my God.
Goes down. As Tundra, they hit back hard, straight down the mid, they take out 4.
And now Secret, they're looking for the fight. They're like, we don't have global, we don't really care. We can still look to get this, but an avalanche from the high ground, I think catches, what, 3 heroes? Axes as well from the Beastmaster, catches multiple. Tundra in position perfectly to counteract Secret.
Yeah, as we've seen time and time again from Tundra this series, they know when to go. You give them any sort of opening, and they just go straight for it. And both supports taken out, and then they know it's their time to run down it. And it is this sort of timing as well. 33 for the most part. He's been getting so much fun out on his own. Now he's looking to play with
up
the
top.
team. Set up action, rolls back up, opens up on a Resolution. TP's coming in, but Reza gets burst here by 33 and Saxa. Tundra, they're really starting to get the ball rolling once again.
I-33 is just a monster. 3-0 and 3 every time he shows up. They're just at level.
Look at his farm.
He's level 14 as well.
So much pressure as well. 17 minutes in, this tier 2 starting to fall. Tundra, they're sticking around here on the aggressive against Secret. Puppy does have the global up.
They have to try to take out this 33 Beastmaster somehow. He's doing way too much damage. Chrysalis is still getting all the space in the world, but that is a pretty devastating hit. Losing Nisha like that.
Absolutely. We're going to get to see Chrysalis have an impact this game that he just hasn't had in the series so far.
Sure.
Both game 1 and game 2, he just never really got the farm. Pretty much stuffed at the bottom of the cores. It will be a different story this time. So Chrysalis, he'll absolutely feel a bit more powerful when those inevitable team fights occur that he has to turn up to.
That being said, also though, Skeeter has started to get ignored a little bit because of the moves Tundra's been able to counteract for Secret. He's got Manta. Now he can really push out those waves without having to show his face. He can actually survive in most situations.
That's very true. I mean, as you
Secret's
said,
hard.
on the Medusa, you're always going to have a tougher time opening up in this sort of game. And Skeeter, arguably, he's got through that tough spot.
He got through one of the tougher ones, and he's always going to have excellent Mystic Snake targets. You just throw that onto the Lesh in most situations, you get so much mana back in the fights. Secret have to be careful in these next few moments. Can't make another mistake like that. Gonna smoke up. Nisha's still having quite a bit of gold in the bank. 2,600.
See snaking poke at the wave mid, but they want something much bigger than that. They want 33's life.
This is the best kill
See
they
if
can
they
find
can blow
right
him up here with the combo. Straight in, but already 33's off the side. They find the chain.
Sasha's here.
Help out. Rolls back up. They turn with the roar onto Resolution, holding back the Leshrac. They'll turn his attention over towards Saxa instead.
Here comes Skeeter.
They want to look to try and take this fight. 9 rolls up straight over the high ground. He's got the opening start on the Resolution. The roll continues, of course, through the song as Resolution's taken out.
They're still chasing.
He's ready to close in on Chrysalis as the song comes to an end. Illusion's back out for Chrysalis, snaking, jumps over the Starstorm, trying to burst Secret down low. The curse kicks in onto 9, so no further spells available to be casted on the chase.
But now Rosh.
Resolution's gone, 33 as strong as ever, steps over into the Roshan pit. They were so close to maybe catching 33 by surprise, but they couldn't quite find the initiation off the back of the rebound.
They waited.
They're trying to poke at them here, Secret. Sort of deter Tundra from committing to the Roshan, but it's rough.
They waited a little too long, it felt like on the Global. Every spell got casted, and then Global comes out. The Roar and the Avalanche was already there to kind of let 33 get the distance. So Secret, again, they have to be careful with these mistakes. It's gonna get punished every single time. Tundra is all at the ready to look for these fights, and now, with Skeeter at the ready to fight, they're gonna look for their own battle with 4 or 5.
Skeeter's ready to join, and he's got a point in the Stone Gaze as well. So ready to pop that ultimate. Stop Secret from being able to sort of take the fight head into them.
Saxa's got Blink.
He's in with a jump. He gets the toss back. They'll get the quick pick onto Puppey. Puppey gets burst through. Rebound in from Zion, so towards Saxa. The Stone Gaze has been popped here, so Secret, they can't come in for now. Ooh! That's actually going to end up tanking the Raw out the back of one of the illusions. Rezo's going to attempt to run down Tundra with this in mind, but onto the back lines. 9. Straight in, on top of Zion's controlling the Marcy. Good bounces here off the cliffs. Leaving Zion's no option to escape. 9 takes him out pretty much solo. Jumps over the swashbuckle. Stun will connect though at 9. He's falling low. Nisha has the damage. They take down 9.
Can they chase for more?
They've got the curse on the 33. Rezo pops the Bloodstone, getting that mana back up. He's ready to chase. He's closing the ammo to the Beast Master. It's going to be another for Secret. Triple kill for Nisha. Only Skeeter and Saxa left here for Tundra. Saxa, he still wants to fight. Jumps in with the top. The Avalanche onto the 3 of them. They're taking out Resolution. There's going to be a buyback from Zayas. Secret, they're putting everything into holding this fight. Keeping Chrysalis safe. Nisha,
the dragon.
He's so low on mana. He hasn't really got much more. He's sort of trapped up on the high ground. He's got one more slide of
He's burning.
But Skeeter,
He's burning.
off the burn for the dragon. 33 kills him off. Skeeter will surely die here. Can they really get him out? Oh, but they're going to get him out.
Is he really going to get away?
They can't close the gap. Skeeter's going to live.
God.
He's going to live.
Oh, Nisha gets stuck in that little spot on the ledge.
The dragon, the bird, he feels it there.
And the whole fight, too. A fight that lasts, I mean, what feels like almost 2 minutes. The Hawk is scouting everything in all these situations, too. Tundra, amazing at the way that they can reset from these fights. With Secret, they do get some big kills.
Yeah, more. No, sure. Nisha dying at the end of it. I mean, look at this. He's 10-2-2. He's still doing everything he can here to hold on to this game against Tundra. But in these fights, Tundra's still able to take to sort of the next level once again in this game 3.
I mean, look at the start, too. The arrow does connect on the Naga. They're almost able to get the Roar, but 33 unable to get it. It's the start there. I mean, crazy chases.
I mean, Skeeter being able to walk away as he did. Definitely going to feel frustrating there for Secret.
I mean, the way that they're able, just the reset, the constant reset and jump forward, the way they play around these cooldowns. Saxa, how many avalanche toss combos was he able to get in this one? How many axes did you see thrown out?
Well, see Skeeter about 2,300 gold away from the Skadi. If they couldn't kill him easily enough then, once he's got his next item done, he's going to be such a huge terror in these team fights.
Chrysalis too, though, still getting big. The Orchid is finished, so he also has a level of control, perhaps,
a Tundra
to catch this Pango.
They're ready to make the move. They know Roshan's up. They don't want to head straight into the pit. They want to try and get a pick off first. Secret things up.
It's
They're
a
sticking together, and now You know, sort of keeping the timing in mind, knowing that the smoke from Tundra's probably come to an end. They might try and sneak a Roshan off the back of their own smoke, though, rather than look for a kill. They're straight into the pit. 33 shows bottom. They know that they've got a bit of space to go for this. The question is, can they do it fast enough?
It looks like they do with the Unleash. It's about to drop down. Tundra do have the split push coming on, but yeah, this Roshan's gone.
That's a big move from Secret. A smart timing there with the smoke.
Now Rezo probably feels a lot safer. He can charge in, almost BKB done. He's going to be able to commit into those backlines easier. Secret find themselves a pretty big window here.
See what sort of the play is to be here from Tundra. A bit of a different position to what they've been in before in the first two games. You know, Secret having this first Aegis on resolution. And for the most part, very much has been the core that Tundra has struggled the least with taking down. Now he's got that Aegis. Tundra, they're going to have to think twice about how they go about these team fights. They're still going to try for it, though. They're in with the smoke.
Puppy showed his face.
Shadow 9. Big burst onto Puppy.
What's that?
Caught out the Panga, but on the side, to be caught by the Roar. 33 commits straight down. Takes out Zayas, but Nisha's in. That's 9 out of the fight, and Nisha, Crystallis, they're in for more. Diving over towards Saxo with the remnant. Saxo. Snaking poke at the wave mid, but they want something much bigger than that. They want 33's life.
This is the best kill
See
they
if they
can
can
find
blow him up
right
here with the combo. Straight in, but already 33's on the side. They find the change.
Saxo's here.
Help out. Rolls back up. They turn with the Roar onto resolution, holding back the Leshrac. They'll turn his attention over towards Saxa instead.
Here comes Heater.
They want to look to try and take this fight. 9 rolls up straight over the high ground. He's got the opening stun on the resolution. The roll continues, of course, through the song as resolution's taken out.
They're still chasing.
He's ready to close in on Chrysalis as the song comes to an end. Illusion's back out for Chrysalis, snaking. Jumps forward for the Starstorm, trying to burst Secret down low. Resolution's taken out.
They're still chasing.
He's ready to close it. Illusion's back out for Chrysalis, snaking. Jumps forward for the Starstorm, trying to burst Secret down low. The curse kicks in onto 9, so no further spells available to be casted on the chase.
But now Rosh.
Resolution's gone. 33 as strong as ever, steps over into the Roshan pit. They were so close to maybe catching 33 by surprise, but they couldn't quite find the initiation off the back of the rebound.
They waited.
They're trying to poke at them here, Secret. Sort of deter Tundra from committing to the Roshan, but it's rough.
They waited a little too long, it felt like on the Global. Every spell got casted, and then Global comes out. The Roar and the Avalanche was already there to kind of let 33 get the distance, so Secret, again, they have to be careful with these mistakes. It's gonna get punished every single time. Tundra is all at the ready to look for these fights, and now, with Skeeter at the ready to fight, they're gonna look for their own battle with 4 or 5.
Skeeter's ready to join, and he's got a point in the Stone Gaze as well. It's ready to pop that.
Loaded to the gills.
Radiant's courier makes the ultimate sacrifice.
Entry ward and a courier from this. Tundra looks to move forward towards the Secret. They have the full 5-man in the area. Nisha very much.
Now has Danae on disc, so if they do catch him in some of these situations, he will get the.
They always find him and sort of force Puppy to global off a tool or use it in inopportune moments.
You see Cloak of Flames now picked up for Crystallis, so cut waves tankier for his illusions as well.
See there on the win probability, still so very much a strong belief there in the power of Tundra. How much farm Skiter still has and how much farm 33 does. You know, 33 gets to play these fights with his summons alive and sets up with a roar. His impact, it's going to be big in these team fights. Secret holding the high ground. Tundra trying to break back into their own jungle with this smoke.
They have this ward. They see at least 2 or 3 heroes right now in Secret.
It's a difficult area to fight for Tundra, even if they're making the jump off the back of a smoke.
They see Puppey with the A on disc too, so maybe gonna look to poke and prod it, force it. Rezo forcing bottom tower with Edict.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Almost drops down. And Tundra, they opt to just go elsewhere.
Yeah, they have no interest in defending this tower for now.
Yep, looking to probably finish up the next few items. Skeeter still not feeling for the Maelstrom build. He's still
under attack.
All right, okay, yeah, going full in on the dealing with the illusions. Understandably, indeed, with how much farm Crystallis has, continuing to hold on to that top spot in net worth.
Neck and neck game. Closest of the 3.
It really has. We've seen sort of the trajectory of the series so far. Game 1, Tundra a complete stomp. Game 2, Secret very much having much more life to them, but still not in this Game 3. Secret in the best position they've been in today in terms of being able to take a game off Tundra and holding on to their chances here in the grand finals.
And in terms of scaling overall with their draft, right? They have the Marcy who's going to be able to scale really hard. Nishas have this fantastic game. Crystals is at the top of the net worth, so and scaling, they should be able to deal with this Medusa as long as she doesn't get too big like a rapier at some point. Eventually, you do feel start to fall behind versus what Secret this time.
Tower is under attack.
But that's been said a lot of times for Tundra, and Tundra has done some miraculous stuff.
This is a team that can very much find a win in even the tougher situations later on. One of the reasons they've cruised to this grand final straight through the upper bracket. Tundra, they have so many strategies, solutions for every single possible position they can be held in.
Look at this flank. In Shadow, they see the smoke.
Oh, Crystallis. He's gonna he's gonna look to jump for the backline. The global silence out, but the Rolling Thunder's already there. Crystallis trying to keep them safe here with the Song of the Siren. Nisha swinging over towards the backline with the remnants. Crystallis having to back away from 9 over the river. Resolution and Nisha.
They're on Crystallis.
To the south, but Chris, he needs help. Maybe that dismisses their science is not enough. Nisha, and he's sort of clicking up, jumps over the remnants. He's trying to chase down Snake, but Secret, they've already lost 2. They'll lose science as well. Tundra, they'll take the fight around the mid, and they'll look for more over the wall. The chase onto Rezo. He's got the PKB, but Skeeter's in with his gun. He's slow. Rezo goes down as well. 4 dead on Secret.
And Nisha, he's still got remnants to play with. Should be all right. At the root. Look, catch the roar.
They got the roar.
They have enough.
And it's the Hawks crashing down onto him. It's a little bit more, but not enough. Nisha still able to get away. I mean, look enough for him. 33 hadn't quite picked up the Hex. Next time around, the Hex, it will be there. 33's got it done.
But they just, in this fight, they just get the perfect wrap run. They stick on Chris, and nobody helps. He gets a global to kind of cover him, but nobody else is able to actually get him into a better position.
I mean,
they focus him.
It very much was a case of just biting off a bit more that they could shoot. You see, so the plan here from Nisha, he backline, trying to look for the easier kills, and then off to the side, sort of this heavy attempt from Secret to sort of commit in and try and help out Reza, you know, get this kill on sector. All this sort of split focus means that Crystallis, it's all.
No help whatsoever. They do have enough damage. If they're able to stick on him like that, they will always have enough damage. Siren, Tundra now 4K lead. Right after we're saying that perhaps they could have some struggle, they find a beautiful angle, and the Hex is also finished up for 33. So for Nisha, he's actually got a much harder game in front of him.
He's got to be careful. He's the state is resist. The guy stands. He's trying to get the linkers off next, but in the mid, they got the talk back into the arrow, into the Hex. They're locking down. Nisha's gone.
Oh boy.
They have the power to deal with them right now.
They're feeling themselves. Instant smoke still available. They want more. 70 seconds. He just spent the gold.
I mean, you know, Secret, they definitely are going to be feeling it after the outcome of that last fight. You know, this lead against them, and there's got to be sort of that really concerning feeling just sort of deep in their gut. Behind Tundra, you struggle immensely to get a hold back at the game. It's something that teams throughout the entire TI have struggled to do. Trying to turn around against a lead at this point. Only very few have even come close to being able to do so. Secret, they've got to do something onto this game.
It's a huge death too. Such a long time. The Ember Spirit up the map. You can see Secret's kind of stuck in their base. Chrysalis is really being, I mean, pretty aggressive being down here. He can even get pretty easily if there's just like a Hawk scouting him. So he's really pushing the down here. And Roche, it's gonna get scouted instantly. It's gonna spawn, and they'll have a small window to actually go for it.
Don't know if Secret's gonna want to do anything about this whilst they don't have Nisha.
It's gonna die so fast as well. 9. All that minus armor.
And Secret, you know, out of all the heroes, Ember Spirit may be one of the ones that could have gone aggressive dive in to try and look for a steal. The rest of the 4 of them, it's so hard to do. Of course, Outpost under Tundra's control. So no real easy way for Nisha to get over here in time. Roshan gets taken, Aegis into the hands of Skeeter. And Secret, they may have come too close to the pit already. They jump on a Puppy, they pop the on this. It was rolling Puppy down across the stairs. Puppy falls. And Zayats, he's got to run. Uphill miss there, protecting from that first instance of the Skadi attack. And Zayats, he's still got no chance of running. It's Rezo. He's able to close it on. Rezo gets the toss back. Tundra. They take the Aegis. They take 3 more kills from Secret.
It's the way that, I mean, they're fighting the Roche, right? They're killing it. They're like, oh, we got this. So they Moonlight Shadow, run out, and go catch while they're doing the Roshan. Tundra just... every single time, the way they take every single approach, every single fight.
Yeah, Secret starting to crumble a little bit once more. They've got to pull themselves together.
But how now? Skitter, he's the one critical master. Olnir's done. He's got Shard.
I mean, at the least, Chrysalis on the Naga Siren to get this. Keep some of these lanes, split push out, cut the creep waves, limit the areas that Tundra's able to push in on, but already this top lane, it's hitting the tier 3s. Tundra look to try and push on a high ground here.
And the biggest shit is when is he going to be able to feel strong enough to get into a fight himself? And do what Nisha's doing. He's 1, 3, and 2 on this Naga.
He's trying to get the Axe here to sort of have that extra setup, but...
will it be enough? Is it going to give him damage to actually walk into these fights? It doesn't feel like in Tundra. They've covered all their bases.
And there's 3 minutes still on the Aegis, so much time to play with. It can look to take so much from Secret.
It's dropping for free. Nobody wants to step up.
I mean, who's the fast?
He's got the Ags.
He's in with the combo. They catch Zayats out of the side. The arrow connects as well. Swashbuckle won't quite clip him. Neither will the Axes, but 9 in with the Rolling Thunder. Feeding off Zayats. Over towards Chrysalis now. The global silence. Back Tundra's aggression for now.
But they're not able to make anything of that global.
Secret, got to keep that distance throughout the remainder of the shot. Thunder, not without their Zayats Marcy.
Another toss.
Saxa. The setup down to Chrysalis. They get the roar. The full-up X as well. He's been locked down. They've got to get Chrysalis back to safety. He's walking back to the fountain. They'll be able to allow Chrysalis to reset, but the damage is done. The rags have been taken out. Rezo, he tries to come in, but he gets too close. Rolls up. Rezo's out for 70. No, but the last rag.
They can't kill anybody during the global. They're just on full retreat. Secret starting to look impossible.
It just doesn't stop it from Tundra. Once they've got a hold on the game, it's just this immensely tight grip. You cannot stop. 12K lead.
It's one fight really from Saw 28 minutes, right? Things were kind of even, and then kaboom. They find absolutely needed. And now Secret, they're pretty trapped. They've got the link. It's not for each, but as we said, where's the damage going to be coming from? Everyone on Tundra's feeling a bit too tanky with all these new items coming out.
And as always, you got to really point back to sort of how impressive it is for Tundra to do with this last pick Medusa, something that no one else was doing, something that was, by the sounds of it, from how he sort of picked on a bit of a whim. Skeeter, he got the new witness for it. He wanted to play it. It's pretty darn fantastic. It's up there at the top.
And they see Nisha.
And they get that.
They got the chains.
It's going to be blocked. Can he get him out in time? They can't. The lockdown's there.
He spent his gold on the Lincolns.
Oh, he's out for 80, and Zayats also found Secret. They are crumbling, falling apart once again in this game 3. Tundra, they just know how to break you.
And they just know how to play with this vision, right? This time around, it's always seems to be scouting.
Has been killed.
I believe they also now, that was the gem that they just picked up, gave to Nisha. He didn't last with it for very long. Now it's on the Beastmaster. A full refresher. Also, this Beastmaster, a menace this game. 12, 1, and 16.
My goodness. I mean, there's so much pressure on Chrysalis right now to just try and keep this game going. Resolution as well. Everything in their power here. Secret to just cut these waves back out. Good call there with the BKB. BKB didn't come. Resolution was dead for sure. He gets himself back to base. Secret, they're trying the best to prolong the game, buy time for Nisha to get back in, and that'll certainly be the case. He'll be back up in 30. Secret, at the least, despite this incredible lead that Tundra's starting to grow against them, they were able to hold them off, give themselves another chance. But each and every time, that chance becomes slimmer and slimmer.
I mean, they're queued up for Nisha. He's feeling. And, I mean, Chrysalis, he's got the Bloodthorn queued up. Perhaps this could be some solution to be able to focus fire some targets. But
he's got
Tundra,
a lot of money towards it.
He does. Tundra just, they're just playing so well off each other, protecting each other with Lotus Orbs, Force Stabs, etc. They have so many, 9 snaking both with those Lotus Orbs. So he get focus fired either from a net or from that Bloodthorn. They'll have ways to bail them out. So we've seen them time again. And now their base, right? The base is just being shoved in constantly. Tundra always going to be able to shove those lanes in.
So much damage. Now with the Bloodthorn, the aggressive, you know, the offensive items, the defensive items, the Lotus ready to bail Skeeter out of any dangerous spots. They have everything to just sort of empower this Medusa, allow Skeeter to just enter the front of the fight. And it will be so tough for Secret to take Skeeter down at this stage.
And they're even starting to get these tier 4 neutral items starts to get addressed as well. All these dispels. Tundra continue to stay as a unit. Secret continue to be trapped.
Puppy. It's going to try and come out, maybe get a bit of vision, bit of information, and to take the outpost back, or at least tease with the idea.
They're risky.
Still under the cover of the smoke.
Oh, do they see it?
I mean,
they want the bigger target.
They've got themselves on top of Nisha.
Uh-oh, he jumps left. They're pinging it.
I mean, his TP's on cooldown. That was put to a stop there by the jumper Saxon, so he has to make his way back to the base with a few remnants, but of course he's still got many to play with that Aghanim, so he'll be fine. Secret able to get everyone back to the base, but indeed goes down. Maybe a bit of an opportunity for Tundra to once again try and take this game to the next step, look to push down for a set of barracks. We'll see how much they want to force it.
I think they're kind of in chill mode until Skeeter hits 25. If someone walks into them, they can look for the fight, but Skeeter, it unlocks a whole new potential of the hero when you hit 25 on this Dusa, especially versus this Naga.
I mean, it's true, and sort of the big thing that's standing out as well is just sort of the levels. You know, Tundra, they're able to get so much XP from the map on these kills. Skeeter just about to hit level 25.
Yep.
Meanwhile, for Chrysalis, of course, all of his farms pretty much done by the illusions. Split push, still stuck on level 19. Still a ways to go before he's going to be feeling in a position to be able to stand his ground against the cause of Tundra in the team fight.
And a ways to go, really. Zayats, you know, he was getting close to BKB, what, 12 minutes ago or something? He still doesn't even have it done, so the scaling for them has completely stagnated. While for Tundra, it feels like all of them are scaling more and more with these small little items to protect each other.
An easy target that, even with the BKB on Zayats, that he can sort of just commit in on with the Unleash.
No. They've
got ways to cut him out. Dagster's got the items, Blink, there's Yules.
And multiple ways to get that dispel, as we see. Witchbane's done, or Witchbane's picked up from the Medusa, and they did, I believe, have the Stormcraft on the Tiny, so yeah, ways to just reset away constantly, which has been kind of the bread and butter for Tundra. Resetting, retaking fights over and over again. And 25 now. Medusa, Skeeter, he's got the talent. So they're ready for their fights if anything comes to them. Playing it safe probably, though. Final game perhaps for them. Playing around this Roshan timer, it's soon to spawn.
That's it, exactly. They can taste that victory.
Yep.
They know how close they are to claiming that Aegis of Champions. Every single time we see the safest route out. They do not let these leads slip. And they're going to do everything to make sure nothing changes from that in this all-important 3.
It's got to be frustrating for Secret at this point, knowing that they can't make any move outside, but at the same time also, if they give up the Roshan, they probably just know that there's no way for them to bring down this Medusa twice.
So the big item pickups that they are going to require is Chrysalis getting his next item done. It's going to be opting for the Nullifier after Bloodthorn, so some further aggressive sort of setup that they can play.
Hard for him still just committing into these fights. Tundra just has so much to deal with him.
With a smoke. And he tried put a tip, got this piece before we get the rock there, and on top of the Thunder, he's able to get the BKB off. He's out the side, they got Skeeter! It's too much damage from the Medusa. Nisha jumps in, will be able to finish on 33 in return, and we'll see the payback coming straight away from Resolution 9. He's got him pretty deep here to try and chase down Puppy. So with a bit of time left with the Rolling Thunder over towards Resolution. Resolution did pop back. This is able to sidestep the arrow in time. 9 out with the swashbuckle. Secret to chase, but the blink there before the slide fist connects. He's out to safety 9. Hey, I want to get back in. Saxa. The toss goes Sans as well. The lockdown. Nisha out for 100. As as Tundra. They'll chase him down. Rezo gone without buyback. It's only Puppey and Chrysalis. Puppey, the arrow's there. Tundra catch him out. They're ready to run down mid. There's a lack of buybacks on Secret.
Secret felt the need. They had to chase to try to get more of the Beastmasters dead, but they get hit.
No buyback. No buyback on Resolution. Nisha, he's 200 gold short.
Ooh.
It's Tundra.
They're gonna try to get some wrap around the Tundra.
Some sort of surprise, but it's 2 against 4.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
As this put...
Tier 4's dropping.
Got a fortification, but still such a long time without Resolution, without Nisha, a full minute.
And the creeps are coming in top. They can't even cut the waves.
As the tier 4s, Tundra, they're pushing on. Secret, they've got to make their move now. It's going to be now or never if they want to try and stop Tundra.
They got to just run in.
And they got to do something. The Ancient's exposed. Tundra! Look, Decisive jumps in, but lead to his death. Chrysalis has got the illusions out, but he's surrounded. Taken out. The Ancient is exposed. They're looking for the game. Tundra, they're on the Ancient. There'll be a buyback from Chrysalis, but surely there's nothing.
He's just getting controlled.
Nothing to be done here from Secret as Tundra. They're closing it up. The Ancient gets on.
Oh my God.
Tundra have done it. The 3-0 clean sweep today against Team Secret here in the grand final.
What an unbelievable storyline. Undefeated. Tundra, unbelievable.
And the way they did it, it truly feels like, fuck this team. They've cracked the code. They've solved Dota.
They broke
their approach every single time. They're unstoppable.
Even when they get their heroes taken away, they always have some type of substitution. Every single player piggybacking off of each
Look
other.
Look at them go.
Unbelievable.
Snaking. Sweep today against Team Secret here in the grand final.
What an unbelievable storyline. Undefeated. Tundra, unbelievable.
And the way they did it, it truly feels like, fuck this team. They've cracked the code. They've solved Dota.
They broke
their approach every single time. They're unstoppable.
Even when they get their heroes taken away, they always have some type of substitution. Every single player piggybacking off of each other.
Go.
Unbelievable. Snaking. 26 teams in 10 years, and he finally claims it.
Ladies and gentlemen, on TI 11 champions.
Esports the international.
Incredible moments here. As you said, a team that's worked so hard throughout the year. They've had their highs, they've had their lows, but they come in at their best when it matters the most here at the International Fog.
Last year, they weren't able to make it this year. They proved everybody, they proved to everyone how good they truly are.
It's incredible play across the board. Some of these players, you've seen them time and time again over the years, as you said, through different teams. I mean, a lot of them individually, the other pros, they've always known that these players, they've had it in them. They've had it in them to get this far, and not only get this far, but to completely crush their opponents in this grand final. Secret, they got closer and closer from game 1 to game 3, but it was never closer enough. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Tundra.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the winners of TI 11, Tundra! Oh my goodness, great, oh, snaking. The lost son of Salamene and his last hero. Any words for everyone out there? You've been waiting so long. It's all yours, buddy.
I want to thank everyone for coming here and supporting us and watching this grand final. We wouldn't be here without you guys.
Woo! Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
And I want to give a special shout out to Pierre and all the people who have supported me along the way. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. An incredible show. Well done. Well done. Oh, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, Ski God here. My friend, good to see you. I'm sorry, I'm caught up in the moment. Now, you heard about Dota from TI2. You watched them on this stage. Well, now you've broken the records. Now you're on the stage. How does it feel, my friend?
It's surreal. I don't know. I'm trying to like still digest all the emotions. You know, it didn't really come to me yet, but it's fucking crazy.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Skeeter! Hello, my friend. Oh yeah, soak that in. This is your first TI. Any advice out there to anybody who wants to do what you just did? Because you just became the inspiration to an unknown amount of people that will always be looking at you, the man who made it happen. What do you have to say to the future of the Dota2 fans?
Get good.
Get good! Okay, I need this, man, if you can. Thank you so much. Sashka, it has been 6 years.
Yep.
You came in second place last time. I know you've been dreaming of this moment. Tell me, how does it feel now that you have accomplished it?
I mean, it doesn't feel like it's still real. Like, I'm still trying to understand what just happened. So it's like, I don't know. In my mind, it's like, I can't even believe it still.
Oh, okay. Audience, is this real? Thank you so much. Congratulations, my friend. Where's the last one? Brea made the 33. Where'd he go? Hey, you get over here, sir. You've earned it. Many consider the VIP of the tournament, the MVP of the tournament, if you will. 33. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up! You said many times before you were searching for the right team to make your Dota ideas be true. You were looking for the right squad to make it happen. It seems you found it, sir. Any words that you'd like to say to your teammates and everybody watching at home?
Just so happy. Everyone did such an amazing job this tournament, and it's the best feeling.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Tundra! Your winners of the International, baby! One of the best years of Dota that we have ever seen. The greatest. Lift up the ages one more time. Give it to the fans. Incredible Dota. One more if you can. Here we go. And get together, lift it up. Tundra Esports!
Congratulations, Tundra Esports. Head and shoulders above the rest. I do not believe I've seen such a dominating performance in all the TIs. Snaking, 33, Saxka, Skidder, and 9. And I love the fact panel. Hello, panel.
Hello.
Hello, Team. Hello, Sheep. Hello, Lizard. I love the fact that all the family there with the players came to support, lifting the Aegis. What a moment.
It was just an incredible run from Tundra, right? The fact that they haven't lost a series at all throughout this entire TI. They basically dictated how people should be playing Dota. They were miles ahead. Everyone was trying to chase and catch up as each series progressed, but no one could get to their level, and yeah, a dominating 3-0.
It's just a dream. It's just a dream of every single Dota player. Anyone that ever played this game remotely competitively, lifting up that Aegis, getting your name on the back, it's, yeah. 33, like a few years back, he's in my team flaming me for some stupid build. Here he is now, like just carrying the Aegis around. I don't know. I'm speechless.
I'm so happy for them. Honestly, genuinely, like listening to any of these players talk, they care so deeply for the game. Like these are the guys you should always be rooting for to win and achieve their dreams and go as far as they want. Like they deserve this from their mentality throughout the whole year, how much they cared, boot camping fully through the DPCs. Like they wanted this, and it actually finally paid off.
It has, and they say, is it a dream? They're not sure. They know it's real. I'm sure it will have to sink in, but this is the thing with, you win a TI.
Did you hear the crowd, James?
I know.
I think it's pretty real.
It is real, but even at these moments, you can see.
It's proof that hard work just pays off. Like, think about this team, the amount of work they've put in, like Sheep mentioned, like Lizard mentioned, they've gone through so much, and they've been boot camping the entire time. They've gone through, from being favorites in majors to crumbling out. and then be able to self-identify those problems, work on them, and then get to this TI, get to this run. It's just, again, it's one of the most memorable runs in just dominance.
Yeah, you know what's cool is that, like, back when this team was signed by Tundra, like, Skitter got on their YouTube channel, talked about it. He said, I want to leave a legacy. I want to be remembered as one of the best in my role. Like, that was what he wanted, and he has proven it so hard. This entire event, this series, every single game, this guy is just miles ahead, playing his heroes to perfection into 100 million counters. It doesn't matter. He pushes his heroes to the max, and I'm just blown away. I'm so impressed, and I'm so happy.
And here they are, walking off the red carpet with the Aegis, their names soon to be added. And of course, make sure you stick around because we will be having the winners on the late game. If you're in the arena, you will be able to hear more from our champions. And well
nearly as tall as
deserved.
them. Look at him. He's a giant. He's a lovely walking giant.
Yeah, Pia and Flax will be hosting the late game, as mentioned. And I can't wait to hear them. I can't wait to hear from them. You know, once they kind of settle down, we'll see, you know, what they're really going to have to say about that, you know, best of... Well, it wasn't a best of, it was a best of 5, but winning it in 3 games. Welcome back to the panel. We're here. We're just flabbergasted, honestly. There's never, I haven't seen a run so strong like this. They lost, I think, 1 map total.
In the playoffs, they lost 1 game to Secret, and then in the group stage, they had a couple draws, I think 4 draws, but just the confidence from the team, and like, Skitter just played Medusa, right? He got the Crimson, Ali mentioned, he gets the Crimson, he wants to play Medusa. He hadn't played Medusa for 5 months competitively. He comes into the Grand Finals, Game 3, looking to lift that Aegis. He gets a little bit of RNG on his side, and bam, look at him.
I think it's James, our best analyst at the panel, that said it doesn't even matter anymore what carry they pick. At this point, they play as such a unit, like they are one. You said it as well, Tiga. They're just one. They just move across the map so well. Their team fights are immaculate. The 4 staffs, the playmaking, everything just works out for them.
Yeah, I think like any criticism of by Wraith Pack Go is just such an oversimplification of the technical aspect of this team's play. Like on a micro and macro level, Tundra are just 300 steps above every other team at this event. Like their abuse of vision, positioning, and map control is just far beyond. Like the way they've used the Hawks in that game, for example, always being able to like start these fights so precisely with 9 on his Pango.
And these players, they're just throwing one problem after another at you. Like you have 33, the micro god on the offlane. You have 9 playing, I don't even know, from Grimstroke Kotl back in the day to now Tusk on the mid lane. You just can't control them.
It's as if like they also have this like sixth sense where in the game, when there's an opportunity for the enemy to find a pickoff, they're already ready. It's like 33 in this game, like he's Beastmaster farming the triangle, they jump him secret, it looks like a free pickoff, and then bam, they're already there. So the speed that Tundra play the map, they find the ways to push the lanes in, but also just know exactly where their opponent is. It is a product of pushing the lanes, gives the information. Like I always mention this so many times. So I'm looking forward to how teams, after they've listed this Aegis now, they're gonna have to go into these replays, study, because as soon as the DPC starts again, a lot of teams...
they're going back home to study right now?
No, I mean, all the teams in the world right now are looking at Tundra going, how have they just basically changed the way that we play Dota? Not many teams play like this, but this is gonna be the meta. Unless there's some major big patch, spoilers, there's gonna be the Tundra style of Dota going into the next DPC.
And I think like, kind of building off what you said, Lizard, they are free thinkers. It's like they describe themselves that way because they don't limit themselves by what's good in the meta. You talked about the heroes that 9 can play, but you also have Snaking, bringing in this Mirana Pos 5 to this tournament, being the only guy doing it, making it work, making it his own. I mean, you have 33 on his offlane too. Like he was the guy playing Darkseer into Enchantresses because he was innovating with his own build with the Orchid. Like throughout the year, throughout their careers, these players do not limit themselves. They keep pushing, they keep building things, making stuff their own. This is something that you can't steal from them. You have to really just embody their spirit to make it work.
Yeah. I believe that they reformed and they just fundamentally changed the game. 4 and a 5 after this tournament, it doesn't exist.
I'm so happy to see also Snaking got to lift the Aegis there for his team. His team kind of stood and was like, go for it. And he was the player that mentioned he's been playing Dota for 15 years. To lift the Aegis after 15 years, what a moment for Snaking. And totally deserved it. Like, you know, as you mentioned, everyone on their team was a threat. There wasn't, you can't name an MVP, I think, of Tundra.
They have so many layers to their team. If you shut down one player, the next player is going to step up, right? Like you think about the heroes in that previous game, you've got Saxo on the Tiny with the tossbacks, you've got 9 always getting the rolling thunder off during these sleeps, so you can't just disengage from the fight, you can't just TP out. And then you have just Skitter, the confidence of Medusa, But again, not playing it for 5 months. Game 3, yeah, let me just play it, boys. I got a Crimson. So yeah, just confidence on layer on layer on layer.
How real do you think that was? Let's be honest.
Very real. Just believe it, James. It's TI, okay? Please,
I actually do believe it. I believe that it was like, hey, Skidder can play whatever he wants. We'll make it work. They were that far ahead, in my opinion.
Find out on the late game show with Piri and Flax.
Look at that. Let's go.
There you go. Gotcha.
Host. It was a good segment.
Yeah.
So we should check back into the arena. We want to see more with what's going on after this Tundra Esports win. So let's send it over to Slacks.
Hello, everybody. I am here. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. I am here in the crowd, my friends. Everybody had a fantastic time. But we just want to say thank you, everyone in the crowd, so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Wonderful hosts, wonderful people, wonderful Dota. And from all of us here at the arena, thank you for watching the International 11. Pretty good stuff, huh? Hell yeah. Hell yeah! All right, don't go anywhere. The late game show is coming up, but from all of us at the arena, all the staff, all the production, all the players, we thank you guys so much for joining us at this monumental event. It was a hell of a good time, and we'll see you next year, right, everybody? Yeah! All right, back to you guys at the panel. Bye! Goodbye!
Thank you, Slacks. Oh, I'm going to miss the Singapore arena. They were awesome.
It was nice.
Yeah, that was.
They were very nice and respectable.
Yeah, Singapore's great.
They were awesome. Yeah, no, I'm so glad that Singapore got a TI, but also we should break down the game a little bit more because I'm still confused, and that's why we've got Purge.
That's right, James. I got the key. I know why Tundra won TI, why they were better than every other team. People talking about damage mitigation, I know we're going to have to do a little bit of math here. I know it's not everybody's favorite subject, but it's very important.
Okay.
Wraith Pact reduces all damage dealt by 30%, where that's right off the bat. If you pair a Mage Slayer with that, it means you're only doing 45% of your normal damage. So when you pipe your team immediately after that, the pipe is blocking 850 damage on everything on your team. Illusions, creeps, heroes, that's a huge amount of damage. And who's the hero of the tournament? It's Leshrac. Tons of AoE damage. He wants to spell lifesteal off that, but now he's doing block damage, less damage. It means he's doing no damage, not surviving. He dies. That's why Tundra's not scared of him. Then on top of that, it gives a pipe ore to your team, and then there's more magic resist. You're doing 29% of your normal damage. That's nothing. Normally you're doing like 75. So much less, right? That's the mitigation. And then that's what they understood. They understood that it's a lifesteal patch. It's not just spell lifesteal, it's also regular lifesteal. Vlad's upgrade, Wraith Pact, got buffed. It went from 18 to 24% physical lifesteal against heroes. So their carries always benefit from that. And even if they're not doing magic damage, they still get lifesteal from attacking. So all of these things layer in like 4 different ways so that they know that every single time that they take a fight, they're just going to win it because they always pick offlaners that have Wraith Pact and they adjust their carries depending on the enemy heroes. They pick Naga Siren thinking like, oh, AoE magic damage is a counter. It's not when you abuse Wraith Pact, Mage Slayer, and the pipe. They live longer, they basically get everything they want, and they can always beat their opponent's counters. That was the thing that they had up on every single other team in this tournament, was knowledge of how those mechanics can be abused, and they abused it to win this TI without a doubt. That's why they won.
Right.
Yeah.
You got that, right?
I understand.
Thank you, Purge.
Yep.
Thank you, Purge. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Purge.
No problem.
I took notes. What did you?
My notes was very simple. Just Tundra good.
Tundra good.
Tundra good.
I got 850 damage, Leshrac a horse, 29%,
40%
AoE damage, and then I got get good, which is the quote from 9.
Yeah, I'll score like 9 out of 10 for those notes. Good job, mate.
That was funny. That was hilarious.
But yeah, like when we actually look into the amount of work that Purge put into that, the crazy thing is, that's what Owie does. Like, if you were watching, the Purge segment and actually trying to write it down or thinking about it and keeping up, which unfortunately me as a host wasn't able to do, this is what Owie brought to the team. He is really like, you do this, we layer this, and this is what we bring to the table.
And it's just the way he thinks. Like, he's not going to go into the grand finals and say, let's ban Lash in that first stage. No, he's going to find a way to counter it. And even though they don't play it, they're not afraid of Lash because they found the right ingredients. The Mage Slayer, the pipe, the Wraith Pact. Suddenly, Nisha, the guy who's been owning every single team with Leshrac, does absolutely nothing in fights.
Yeah, and we should really talk a little bit about Secret. Still an amazing finish. Their performance throughout the tournament was immaculate. They lost only to Tundra in the main stage, but they lost, of course, twice and in the grand finals. And Puppy, I was kind of saying, like, you know, it's hard to teach old Puppy new tricks, but he took the Naga, but it didn't work out for him in game 3, and that felt like it was their big chance. And the new trick being taken from Tundra's playbook.
Look, we knew that he had to come second. Last year he was third.
Yep.
This year he's second. Next year he wins. So don't feel too bad. His time will come. And, you know, like you said, props to him. He did talk about how hard it is to kind of keep up this level of play throughout all these years, and he just keeps managing to do it. So I hope he never retires. I kind of want to see just how far he can go on for.
Low-key, I was hoping for him to take it, because maybe that would force Notil and Seb to come out of retirement. You know, now you have the two, now you have to get 3, you know, you're no longer special.
Yeah, but it's still, as you say, it's an amazing performance, not only by him, but also the team. But the fact that a lot of people can stay on top of the game for a couple of years, maybe 3, 4, 5, but Puppy has been, you know, he's improving with age, so to
Fine
speak.
wine.
Yeah,
No. He peaked early. He won TI early, and
yeah, well,
it's been a roller coaster, but on a good trajectory right now.
no, I'm just messing around.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. He's an insanely good player.
Yeah, and then, of course, you know, going back to Tundra, we're going to be wrapping up a little bit here just in a moment, but of course, we are waiting for the late game, so make sure you stay around for that. A couple of first players TIs. Skitter. I believe I saw his mum lift the Aegis.
There was a lot of people on that
There
stage.
was a
I was
lot of
trying to
people
pick out
lifting the Aegis.
who was in there.
That's also something, there was just so much support around them. It's never the players themselves that make it, right? Obviously, you put in a lot of hours into the game, you love it, you play it, you try hard, but then again, you need to be in the right environment. Like, you need to have the family, the friends that support you, that actually push you towards your goals.
Yeah, and here are the winning moments.
I love the fact that, you know, they win TI and 33 is the one jumping around. Everyone else is like, yep, that was a nice game, guys. And that's why I think the support network, it really comes in, because they're so zoned into the game. The friends, the family, they're going to be able to kind of go, guys, you actually just won TI. They're going to be able to bring them back into kind of reality, because they have been so zoned in. I don't think I've seen a TI winning team win TI and look that calm. That is what's so scary. They've built such a system around them that if they can just continue this system, like, they're going to be able to deal with any patch, any play, any pressure now, because you've won TI with such confidence. Yeah, I am so looking forward to the future of Tundra.
What about Puppy, by the way? He didn't look that sad.
He actually, there was a tiny clip just when the two teams won, and he was smiling. Yeah. Because that man loves his Dota, and he was like, you know, they outplayed us. They took it, and you know, he gives a lot of respect to all his opponents. And of course, I think that team, though, I loved the amount of energy that Team Secret brought here at the International. Rezo in his interviews is just, you know, I think having someone like that in your team really can just bring you up, just because of his energy and just how happy he is to be there, and also somewhat amazed. They came from, you know, even though they came second, they still came from the last chance qualifiers, Team Secret. That's huge.
Yeah, you've seen their development, how much better they've got. Like Crystalis, his improvement throughout this entire TI has just been in massive leaps. And if this team chooses to stick together, I think like what they can learn from this TI, everyone's praising the map control and macro of Tundra. Puppy's very good at learning. He will be able to like look through these replays, figure out what is so good about it, and then start to apply it to his own team. The same way that when they lost to Entity, he took from that and learned and got better, right? So I think that as long as his captainship is there, I believe this team can continue to be incredible throughout the year.
When we say about learning,
yes,
I don't want to be rude.
Okay.
But well, actually, I can't be rude, because we're going to be wrapping up.
Okay.
Last words.
Oh, yeah. See you next year, James.
It's the cliffhanger. Last words for TI here at the panel.
Dota is a beautiful game. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Thanks for coming back, Too Good. Yeah,
thanks for coming back. Honored to be here once again. Like TI, it's a dream of every Dota player.
Thanks to my... I love my panel. Guys, I'm sorry. It's emotional.
She's emotional.
Congrats on surviving the Brit panel, Lizard.
Thank you very much, Sheeped, Lizard, and T-Governor. And thank you as well for tuning in at home. But please stick around. This may be the end of the panel, but we'll be going to the late game, and it's Tundra Esports that are the champions. They will be sat down with Pyrion and I'm sure Slacks. This has been the International Dota2 Championships. We'll see you next time.
And just like that, with a shower of confetti, the games are over and TI is concluded for another year. I always feel sad at this time, honestly. I do, because this is my 9th TI, and I always feel like when I'm here, it's never gonna end. And then when it does end, I'm devastated and I have to wait another year for another one. But this year's been really, really special. These last 2 days in the Singapore Indoor Stadium have been phenomenal. And I wanna say, it's you guys that have actually made this fantastic after so long without a live crowd. You guys have been fantastic, so thank you from all of us, I mean that. In less than 48 hours, this entire arena is going to be torn down, believe it or not. Well, just the inside bit, don't worry, the stadium will still be here. And I'd like to say thanks to the crew who put all this together and make it all happen. And another bunch of people, they don't need applause, they're used to it. Another bunch of people, I'm going to sit amongst them right now, that make this really, really special, are you and me, Jake.
Hey, how's it going? Man, what a motley crew of psychopaths they gave us over there. There's a homeless guy over there. He just came in from the crowd.
Yeah, we don't know who that is.
What are you doing?
You invited me. Shannon's right. I should never throw a guest under the bus. Shannon, thank you for rousing yourself from your hotel room, stumbling down here at the last minute after messaging me, am I on this show or what? And then coming on. I really do appreciate it.
You know, communication's not your strongest suit, Pyrian, but I'm very happy to be your guest. Thank you.
Thank you. It's great to have you. I thought your casting this year was top draw, really.
Thank you, Pyrian Flax.
And I really, really enjoy Ability Arena. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you, friend.
There you
Not
go.
good enough for finals, but it's all right. Okay, that's all right.
Cap, before I come to the duo that cast the final, how did you find this TI? I thought your casting with SVG this year was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, thank you, Ted. Yeah, this TI was fantastic. I mean, just being able to, there were so many great games that happened. I know this ended up being a 3-0 finals, and I'm sure people really wanted to be able to see 5 games, but throughout this entire tournament, I think there have been so many fantastic games that we managed to watch. A lot of memories came through, and well, a lot of cool storylines came out of it as well.
There were a lot of cool storylines. I think this was one of the Dota sort of events I've been to that had the most storylines, whether it be players retiring or second chances, third chances, don't you think?
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm just smiling because I know that Cap has been trying to show off his shoes for this entire event. And he only
Jake keeps on making a big deal out of my shoes, and I'm not.
To come on to show off his cool shoes. So, fantastic.
Alright, that's all for now. Thank you for watching the stream.